or all right, so we are live. Where are we
Hi.
live right now? We're not live on the radio yet. I'm gonna get us live
Oh,
on the radio, but right now we are live in some places somewhere. Oh, on Facebook we're live. Okay, on the Facebook
hi.
WTHC pages, but not everywhere else. So I'm just gonna say hi everybody
Hi,
as
everyone.
we're actually turning on other channels. Oh, Thomas, you're there. Say hi.
Hi, everyone. How is everyone doing?
Hold on. All right, now I don't it says we're somewhat live on the radio, but I don't know that we're live everywhere on the radio. Broadcast. Now we are broadcasting on WTHC. So we're live on the radio and we're live on Facebook. And I'm gonna get us so we're shared on the Perfect Positivity page because we're shared on WTHC's page, which is awesome. I always love to be with our WTHC friends.
Excellent, excellent.
Yes. But I also like to go on the Perfect Positivity page too because they're so wonderful. That's us.
Hey,
All right, let me find us so I can share us. WTHC
see.
Radio. I just want everybody to be able to. There we are. It says we're live now. Wonderful.
Yay. We'll get the hang of this. We'll get the hang of it. We'll get there.
Yes.
Like riding a bike. It's like
I
riding
want to learn how to do it before we go live, but I'm not sure we're able to share it in all these places before we go live. So it's like we have to go live and then share it all across the
Yeah.
places. So it is this me and Thomas. Dot Davies is gonna join us in a little while, and she's from Thomas, say it right, because I want to say Hayworth House, but it's
Haworth.
Haworth.
Yep.
And
Haworth.
and yeah, so I'm so excited. We're gonna bring her on in about 15 minutes, but we wanted to
Wonderful.
just do our hi, it's Michelle and Thomas. And oh, okay, that's great. I think I'm shared in the Perfect Positivity. I'm gonna share it on my personal page tonight. So get some of that going
Yeah.
too. Woohoo.
Yep.
Do you know how to do what I'm doing, Thomas? Are you able to do it too?
No, so if you could forward that to me and then I'll share it right back out.
Yes.
Just being honest. I
That's
cannot tell a
okay.
lie. I cannot tell a lie.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to share this over to your personal page and then that's it. Then we start talking
Okay.
like regular people.
Like regular people. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, how we do. All right, let's see.
Oh lordy, lordy, lordy. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're in all the places we're supposed to be.
Okay.
Oh, I see that there's 8 comments already, so something's happening.
Oh, where?
Okay, Lady Shay and Kelly and Pixie Mom. Hi, hi, hi. Paul, hello from Georgia. Very nice. Georgia, I've been through Georgia a few times and I've always enjoyed it. I
Where is
definitely stopped at a farm market and got peaches because I felt like I needed to the first time.
where are the comments on Facebook or on Discord?
You can't see them. I'm looking at them, but you don't see what I see?
No, maybe not.
Oh, so they
Well,
are
I'm
on.
looking
They're
at
not
them.
on the Discord. So if you're on Discord, if you can tell me what the comments are there, that's wonderful. I am seeing them in StreamYard, and
Yes.
but they are on. They're not. The comments are on Facebook, and I think Facebook sends them to StreamYard.
Oh, wait. Or I could just click on the button that says comments and then I could read the comments.
Oh, so you can see. Okay, you are where I am.
Yeah. All I have to do is just, hit the button that says comments and then I could see see, that's how that works.
Everyone gets to learn with us.
Or I could press the button.
So what do we have in store for tonight, Thomas? What are our fun things?
We have a lot. We have Dot. We have we lined up a guest for next week already.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, there's so much. There's so much.
Do you want to talk about homework now or you want to talk about it later?
Let's do homework later because
okay.
there's some stuff that I think we wanted to get to. I know you and I discussed during the week like what homework might be, what we wanted to talk about first. And getting in your own way was one of the things we wanted to talk about. We also wanted to talk about keeping the momentum going. How do we keep momentum going? You know what? Let's just dive right in. Let's dive right in. Let's just dive right
Okay.
in. So momentum. Okay, so momentum. How do we keep momentum? So everyone has been there. Everyone has been on that train where I feel great and I feel wonderful, and then all of a sudden you meet someone or you bump into someone that you didn't want to talk to. You get a phone call, you get an email, you get a something, you hit traffic, you get a something, and it just seems to derail you, right? Everyone's
Yes.
been there, right?
Happened to me a
You've
few
been
times
there,
this
I've
week.
been
I was
there.
like, I got myself revved up. I was feeling good, and then all of a sudden something
Feeling
happened, and I was like,
it was womp womp womp
womp womp.
womp. Yeah. So
Is that
it,
from Whammy? I don't even know what that sounds
it,
from. I think it's
Price
Whammy.
is Right. What's wrong with you? Price is Right.
Price is
Bum,
Right.
bum,
It is. It's
bum,
Price is Right. You're
bum.
right.
Yeah. So
I will find that sound.
So it's illogical. So first and foremost, we need to give ourselves a pass for doing this because we are only human. We have thoughts, we have experiences, we have
Yeah.
lives to lead. We have people that we have to talk to. We have situations that we have to go through. We have jobs we got to report to. It's inevitable we're going to come across something that's going to potentially, but not always, quote unquote derail us, right? So how do we keep that from happening? It's all about momentum. So, how did we build the momentum to begin with? We built the momentum by focusing on things that we appreciate, focusing on gratitude. It could have been good music. I've said it a million times. One of the things that always gets me in a good mood is the song Shiny Happy People by REM. It's REM and B52s did a song together. If you don't know it, I highly recommend. You YouTube it immediately because it's a fantastic song.
Immediately.
Immediately.
Do not pass go. Do
Yeah,
not
do not
collect
pass
any
go. Don't
money.
collect the trunk.
Immediate.
Go get it. Yeah. So but also think of positive experiences that we've had. Think of the graduation that was really wonderful to be at. Think of the birthday party. Think of a surprise birthday party. Think of a meal that you had. Think of things that brought you joy in the past because you want to get your thoughts away from what derailed
Yes.
and back on to what's
Yes.
going to re-rail you, so to speak.
Mhm.
So, in other words, you want to make sure that you're back on the frequency of positive thoughts, positive thinking. And it sounds very cliched. Sounds very foo-foo. Sounds very like, oh, that's easy to say, but it's also easy to do. We all have choice. We can choose now. Try not to, Michelle. Try not to, and everyone listening. Try not to. Absolutely do not picture a red fire truck. Don't picture a red fire truck. No matter what you do, don't picture.
So now we're all picturing the red fire truck.
Right, yeah. Don't picture the red fire truck's wheels. Don't picture the fireman in the
So,
fire.
so why are we doing this now? What
Don't
are
do.
you teaching us?
When what we think about is where our focus goes.
Okay.
So the lesson in this is why not change what we think about? Why not focus? Because it's all choice in the end. Why not focus on more positive things? Why not focus on joy? Why not focus on a flower, on kids laughing, on an ocean, on anything that brings you happiness?
Okay.
Because that's how you get the momentum back.
All right.
You get the steam back in the engine.
That makes sense. And it is right when you say don't think about something, it makes you think about it 10 times.
Even more, right?
Yeah.
Even more.
I'm going to tell you something. Earlier today, I was getting a little confused, getting ready. I was going to see my family for Mother's Day, and it was wonderful. But I was getting a little overwhelmed, and I thought about a Mother's Day. I was pregnant with my now 23-year-old daughter. It was before I was a mother, and I was thinking about our mutual friends that introduced us, and our other, our other BFF in our little circle of friends, and her dad took us out for Mother's Day, and we were not mothers yet. And I was pregnant. I was pretty pregnant. And I had this moment where I thought of this joyful meal. He brought us to a Spanish restaurant. on Oakdale, out in Oakdale, Long Island. He brought us to a little Spanish restaurant, and the food there was glorious. I actually could remember what I ate, and I said, "I remember this great Mother's Day, and I ate this amazing meal." And it's funny that you use that as your example
Yeah.
because the person I said this to said, "How do you remember a meal from 23 years ago?" And I said, "It was that
When
good.
that
It
good.
was that good."
Yeah.
It was delicious, and I am a food yummy.
Yeah.
I'll go with foodie for lack of a better word, but
Yep.
mhm.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna go, and so here's what I'm thinking we're gonna do.
Okay.
If it's okay with you.
Mm.
I'm gonna try to start doing that thing. We keep saying I'm gonna do it, and I haven't figured out the technology of it yet. I'm going to try play a piece of a little song I like, and then I'm gonna go into the commercial, and when we come back from commercial, I wanna bring my friend Dot Davies into the conversation with us and talk about her amazingness.
Yes. Can't wait to talk to her.
Okay, so then that is what I'm going to try to do, and I'm using try. I mean, I know I should say that's what I'm going to do, but I don't wanna give false promises because I
Yeah.
don't know. I am attempting strongly to do this, and I feel good about it, and I don't know. But
Yeah.
this is a new song I found. It's called Affirmations, and, it's by, Gray Ziegler, and, it kinda, like I love it, but I don't like to play a whole song. I only wanna play a little piece as we go in and out, and if I get this right, we will listen to her song in and out of the next few things because her song brought me some joy today.
Mhm.
And I did try to do this once with Shiny Happy People because you love it, and I
Love
like
it.
to make things that make you happy, but I'm gonna tell you, I didn't do it well last time, but I'm learning it, and then once I get this in, I will mix it up with different songs
That's
going
it.
in and out of commercial
That's
break.
Yep.
That's my plan in life. All right, let's see if I got this going right.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Already it's not going right because it was supposed to be like a clip, like, blending it, but that's okay. I'm not hearing it at all. All right. So it's Michelle learning how
And I radiate love with you within. I am worthy of greater things. I'm an angel, just look at these wings. I am ready.
It's also not supposed to be this loud.
All
All
good.
right. It's supposed to kind of blend in like that. I'll get there, people. Be patient with me. I'm a work in progress.
We're learning. We're learning.
Learning.
We're learning.
And that didn't flow into the
Okay,
commercial.
man. This is your time.
We're in the commercial.
Maybe you didn't choose this.
So for Dot, who is already
You're gonna
with
go out
us,
there
but she's been
and be an all-star
kindly just
caregiver.
staying in the background
It's up to you.
during the commercials.
So what are you
Ooh.
gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping.
We have
During
a
the
lot.
commercials,
Either emotionally and
We
we are not.
You're
The
gonna take
radio
care
has
of
the commercials, but
wife and
the live feed that goes to Facebook doesn't.
Forget about the
Yeah,
pharmacy.
yeah.
No,
So
you
they
won't.
have to hear it in the background.
Yeah, we're still live on Facebook and all that. Yep.
Don't give up.
But
Don't ever
WTHC has the whole commercial.
This is your time.
So
Show the world, your family,
oh.
and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen.
All right, I got it.
Still
All
good.
right. So if you're in Facebook land, hi Facebook land. I see Steve says hi. Oh my gosh, Allison. Hi, Allison. Saying hi for she's Dot's friend. That's wonderful.
Florida,
Thank you for joining us. And Nikki,
Florida.
wonderful. Dot, where are you? Are you coming? to
Oh
join
yeah,
us?
I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All of a
Hey,
sudden, I got a little panicked. She didn't turn her camera on. She left. She left.
Left, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing this.
For all my positive
For all
thinking,
your positivity.
Out. Yeah.
my negative thoughts come out first sometimes.
Yeah. I thought about it and deuces. Yeah.
That's all the behind the scenes for everybody on Facebook land. They got to see me do my hair and everything.
Teens, yes. Yeah.
I
know
do
behind the scenes.
try
Out.
when we recut, I try to cut little like clips. And I will cut this type of clip out.
Why? This is wonderful.
It's in now. Everybody's there seeing it live, but
I know. You know what? That's the way you got to do it.
That's it. Oop, 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 oop.
all right, so WTHC, we're back with the Perfect Positivity Show, and we are so excited, me and Thomas, tonight are so excited to invite our friend Dot Davies to join us.
Hello. Hi. My eyes are
Hi,
itchy. I'm
Doc.
sorry. Hi. Allergies. How are you?
We're wonderful. How are
I
you?
am. I am fan-friggin-tastic.
We are wonderful. I know we have a lot going on in our worlds.
Oh my gosh.
So much. And in the midst of this, I have been this crazy person, and my friend Dot keeps saying, "Hey, check out my organization I'm creating." And
Yep.
I'm like, "Oh my God, I love it. It's everything I believe in, and I wanna it's positivity, it's about building people up, it's about giving skills to young people, it's all these great things." And I'm like, and I have had no time to participate in it. And she calls me anyway, and she keeps me updated anyway. And I'm like, I'm so thankful that she does this because I think it's such a great, worthy, amazing cause. And then when we started our show and she was like, "Hey, why don't we talk about my stuff?" And I was like, "Yes, that's my dream. Like this is all coming together perfectly." And hence the Perfect Positivity Show. Our first guest should be Dot Davies. Like that's
Oh,
perfect. Our
I'm
official
so
guest.
excited.
We
I'm
had
so
unofficial
excited.
people pop in and help us with our feeds in the past, but you're our first official real guest.
Yes.
So I just saw Katie Davies says hi. I know.
Ah, hi, sweetie.
Happy Mother's Day,
That's a
right?
kiddo.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Yes.
So and just to take a step back, this is not what we're talking about tonight. But Dot and I, that's how we know each other, is that our kids are friends and we met through our children.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Know that.
she has a
Yeah.
child of both of my children's ages. So I have
Yes.
2 kids and she has 2 kids, and they are friends. They
Yes.
are all
Yes.
friends. So
Yes.
that's a
Yes.
wonderful thing to
Love
say.
it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Since Em and Tommy were what,
Kindergarten.
5?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a
In
little ridiculous.
in kindergarten they met and they knew they were friends.
Yep.
And that was that. They stayed friends.
Yep. I love that. I love it.
And so we were very blessed to have that connection. And so to everybody else, I'm using Dad's account. I wonder who's using your husband's account because that just popped up. Jesse Davies says I'm using Dad's account. I'm gonna say since Katie's on hers, that's
That's
M.
probably Em. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Even though I shared this to my children's pages, they're not here for Mother's Day. I'm just so congratulations on good parenting, because your kids came out for WTHC and on this page, and my kids probably went, "Ugh,
I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. Yeah.
I'm done." And that's okay. I don't have any bad feelings towards that because I did get to spend time with both of them today for Mother's Day. So
Oh, that's awesome.
it is fine with me. I'm teasing them. So we actually brought you on not just because we're friends.
I
do
know,
love
and not
that
just
we're
to
friends.
almost
That's an
swore.
added bonus. But it's because of your great organization, and we wanted to talk about it and share it and see honestly if some of the people from the Perfect Positivity page and from WTHC also wanted to follow along in your progress as you
Mhm.
build this. It is a new organization. How
Yes.
long ago did you come up with this idea?
So it kind of morphed. So my husband and I are, well, just by trade and just by personality, we are the caretakers and the people who are just we take care of everybody. That's just who we are.
Yes.
We've always been in the service industry. And our well, my dream, and eventually Jesse was like, yeah, that sounds amazing. We wanted to open a bed and breakfast, right?
Mm.
Amazing, so much fun, and as I was
So let
telling
me step back. Would it
Sure.
be a hippie bed and breakfast? Because you guys are my
Oh,
hippie friends.
absolutely, we would be totally 420 friendly. Like, we were talking about that. We were talking about, how we could actually merge that, right? And also, comma, I was telling my friends Alice
But comma
Dan,
also, yes.
comma also,
Yep.
I kind of wanted it to, I wanted it to morph into like a think tank. And what I mean by that is just having amazing people coming together, altered or otherwise, having this space to come together and have conversations, right?
Mhm.
Conversations, whatever we wanted to talk about, in the spirit of, light and love, but, really get into some topics and have those conversations, like, like of old, like the Greek folks who used to go in and just, talk.
Okay.
And so they're like, "Oh, that's interesting, but that's going to be hard to do." And I was like, "Well, why?" And they're like, "Cuz you might not, like what those other people have to say, and they might have other opinions than you do." And, and I'm like, "Well, that's okay." And they're just like, "Dot, you just can't do that. There's just no way that that could happen." And I was like, "Oh, fine, whatever." Um
But
and
that's
and
as
yeah,
if
they
you have
always
an
bring
idea
me.
and you wanted to
Yeah.
come to me, you're like, "I'm gonna make that happen." You
Yeah.
can't say it's not gonna happen.
I love
So
can't.
but
I love it.
but you don't want to have, like, just these, you can't control the conversation, and sometimes the
Sure.
conversation might go, places where you don't want it to go, or they can go to a hateful place, and we don't want to experience any of that.
Sure.
So so we were always talking about when M was a senior and going off to college,
Uh-huh.
that's when we would start looking, for a bed and breakfast and kind of moving into the second phase of our life.
Yeah.
um but I got laid off in February, and it was like a super shock. And I was like, what the hell am I going to do? Like, this is freaking me out. And so Jesse and I were continue talking about our idea. And, as I had some time off, we grew these
Let's use this.
conversations.
Let's
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And, grow these conversations into, like, what are we going to do? How are we going to, make this work? And as we were really getting into it, we're like, this isn't itching the part of us, that we in the service space, you know what I
yeah.
mean? And Jess is my husband, by the way. I don't know, but that's
Yes.
my husband. Um, and he was like, "Yeah," he's like, "We need to be in service of folks."
Yeah.
And he's like, there are a lot of young adults that we know, and just a lot of young adults in general, um, that are in challenging times right now. And a lot of the young people that Jesse and I come in contact with are LGBTQ folks. And on top of that, on top of all of the legislation that we see happening across the country against our
It
trans
could be
friends.
a scary place for some people right
Oh,
now,
it's
and
yeah,
just
yeah. And we were like, actually, Jess, I don't want to say we, Jess was like, that's what we should do. We should help these people. How can we help them? What can we do to give them an advantage? What can we do? And we would just, talk about it, driving around. And then I was like, you know what? Like, that's what we need to do. We need to come up with a place for these LGBTQ youth that might come from unsupportive, backgrounds, maybe their family is not accepting of their identity. There are parents, unfortunately, who
still it blows my mind that this is still an issue in
yeah, yeah.
2023.
And
I like the next part of your thought on this, if not to push you through your story. Um,
I'm sorry,
I
I'm very, very wordy.
No, 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 not at all. Because let me tell you what the other part of this is in my mind. Because you talk about life skills. So in one way, people are much more accepting of LBQ. I just missed letters. Add my letters.
LGBTQ.
LGBT.
LBG.
AI.
I feel like I need to write it every single time, even though it's been 25 years that we've been saying these things. I am still, I so I feel like as we've become more accepting as a society in many ways, society to the youth of today, we have been hovering and we have been helicoptering over these kids.
Uh-huh.
So the parents that are not accepting, when they weren't accepting in the 80s and the 90s, kicked their kids out, but their kids knew how to do things.
Right.
So they were able to go on and get an apartment and figure it out and get a job and figure it out.
Mhm.
And then we have this, I'm not generalizing. I know there are amazing people who can do things very independently.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not trying to
Absolutely.
say it like that, but as a society, because we were so afraid of lawsuits and we saw bad things happen to people during our generation, we saw people get hurt in various ways and get into the wrong house, fall into different things. We have become this generation where we're protecting our kids. So now all of a sudden we have these kids that are not prepared to be on their own, but they're being told, why don't you go live on your own if you
Yep.
can't figure out your life? So now we
Right.
have this 18-year-old, 19-year-old who is now trying to figure out how to live independently without having the skills that we all had at 14.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So not to push it through, but I wanted to hear about
Yeah.
that piece because I think that that's such an
Sure.
amazing part that you're
No,
coming up with.
absolutely, absolutely. So the culmination of everything for Holworth House, right? We're going to be starting small within our community, but by the end of 2024, hopefully,
I'm
we want to
sure.
have our first house. And basically, what that house is going to do is it's going to provide 6 individuals the everything that they need. Meaning, we're going to provide their whole room, uh, toiletries, uh, food, everything that you would need to live. And all they need to do is just focus on themselves and focus on their job, right? We will also be, hey, if you want to, learn how to cook a Thanksgiving dinner, like let's have that conversation and let's do that together. If you want to learn how, to maybe you want to be a security person, right? My husband's in security. Let's have that conversation. Let's bring people in with different career paths too, if they're just kind of, doing a job. And not to say that, working in any job is a bad thing, but like if they wanted to expand their creativity, or if they wanted to go a different career route, we
Sure.
would be able to help them go ahead and figure out who they are and what they want to do. We also want to make sure that they're able to go ahead and find, especially if they're, LGBTQ, especially our trans folks, we want to make sure that the housing that we help them find is not discriminatory in any way, and making sure that, as they go into the job, preparing them, to be who they are and be confident in themselves,
Yeah.
so they can just go out and be who they are, and nobody can say a damn thing because that's who they are. And
Can I
I
just
want
tell you, you have people that are chiming in here that are amazing in the feed. And first person wrote, "This is just such an important mission," and that's so wonderful. And then I think this is one of your friends, Allison, right? She's one of your friends.
yes.
She's like, "Banking, take them to the bank." You know?
Absolutely. Who has a checking account? Like my
Yeah.
18-year-old doesn't have a checking account yet,
And
I'm
my
like,
kids have checking accounts, but they don't actually own checks because they write all their checks virtually,
Yep.
which is like, oh, that's great. Like you can write a check at the bank. I do it all the time myself. And then it occurred to me when I said, could you write a check for that on something? And she looked at me like, what do those words mean? I don't know how to
know.
write a check. And then it occurred to me after we spoke about it, she does not have any checks. She doesn't actually she didn't order checks. I'm like, I just assumed she did. I don't know why I thought she just ordered them. She's 23. She was like,
Because
no,
you did.
I
You
put them on
did.
the I just thought she had them.
Mhm.
So such a valid point, Allison, is that, yeah, like we kind of think because the technology has gone forward, but if you want to go get an apartment, they don't want your virtual check. They want
Nope.
you to have a real check that you wrote. And there's a few other, it's not that many, like you don't need to buy 100 checkbooks like we used to. You can
Mhm.
probably have one for a couple years.
Yeah,
You don't
absolutely.
need to buy checks.
But even
So
budgeting, like we
yes,
got that. I
yes.
mean, and in high school too. I hate to say, and I'm going to be this person, and it hurts my soul that I'm going to say this, but when I went to high school, you could go to cooking class. They had architecture. They had, I know they still have this family living kind of situation. I know they do
Oh,
that in the high
yes.
school, but like I just feel like all of those expressive band, all the cuts to the band, the art department, and our friggin' high school, they have the
I
2 most wonderful teachers there, and they
Yes, they
don't
do.
utilize them. They don't utilize them,
Yes.
and
And
it makes me
just
so
for
mad.
background, I know I saw that your child won an art award, so I know your child is into art. So, I know that that's one of those ones that you're like, I know about this because my kid who's
Yeah,
currently in the high school
yeah.
this
It's
is
just
this is their field, their
and
area.
and it's they're just not being supportive in that way to be themselves, to be their creative selves. And I'm not saying that we need to have a hippie generation of all these, painters and artists or whatever, but we need to have a generation who has the ability not just to be a teacher or something that requires a college education. It is okay to go into a trade, and having more positive conversations around that, especially for folks who they might not even think it's an option for them.
Yeah.
Let's have that conversation. Let's
It's funny because I feel very, I feel mixed about that in a way. And not that I do agree with you. It is okay for them to go into a trade, and I think that's fantastic. I want to have this conversation, and this might be another night that we bring you back for this.
Ooh.
Because I will tell you how passionately I feel. So somebody goes to they go to trade school or they go to the VOTEC and they become a plumber. And now they've worked under another plumber. I'm just using plumber.
Mhm.
But now they want to start their own business. And I'm like, now they need the business classes because I went to school um for my field and for
Mhm.
education and everything I went to school for. I didn't take any business classes, and it's really, really hurt me later in life. And I also know that when you're at the trade school, it's amazing because you're submersing yourself in the trade. So like, my kiddo, he's really into his horticulture, and that's what he's really into, growing things and
I love that.
landscape design. Oh,
I
that's
love
his
it.
he's a landscape design person.
Oh, he's an
Um,
earthy person.
he is.
Oh, I
He
love
is.
that.
But I want him to I want this field to grow a little bit in that when I went to college, it was before, some people consider it a waste because it's a waste of money, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was really beneficial to me that I took these classes that had nothing to do with my major because it gave me these other knowledges that I was able to use in life.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I had the stuff that was for my major that was really important that I really had a passion for, but I had these other things like public speaking, which guess what? Wasn't my major, but I do a lot, don't I? And
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
and other things, not just public speaking, but these other classes that I took that I really feel benefited me. And so it's funny that you said that. I wasn't trying to get you off track with it, but talking about like how you want to have a place for conversations, me too. And I
Yeah.
want to have that conversation because I think it's so important. And I keep trying to say that to my son, like,
Mhm.
hey, I'm so glad you're doing these landscape design things, and they're awesome. I also think you need to learn about this.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so it's like that the Greeks when they were teaching everyone to have this whole learning,
Yes.
and then we all of a sudden we're so worried. It's actually what's going on in the high school. They want to teach to the test. They want to teach well in education. They want to teach to the test because
Mhm.
they want to make sure that the school gets what the funding they need. So they teach to the test, and they're not teaching the whole learning.
No.
Like you said, back in high school, we had the opportunity to take some more cooking classes and these other classes just as electives. I,
Mhm.
I took I took a class in school on international cooking. We learned how to cook Chinese food. It was so great.
Yeah.
I had such great stuff. It well, I guess it gave me value in that now sometimes I cook some of that stuff up.
Exactly. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, Jess fixed a lawnmower, and I was like, "How the frick do you know how to do that?" He's like, "Oh, I did small engine repair in
Well,
in high
intern in
school."
high school.
Yeah, and
That
I
you
was
didn't have to
like,
go to VOTEC for that. That was just a basic class that you
"Yeah,
were able to
yep."
access.
Mhm.
And
So
yeah.
so this all culminated like in like Jesse and our brain like this is not a good situation because I mean and I love my kids dearly. They know I love them and I'm sorry that I'm going to say this but like even now like I thought I prepared them enough, like both of them. And I'm seeing gaps that like I was like, "Oh, sugar. Can we swear?"
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
I was like, "Shit."
We are an internet radio station, WTHC, internet radio, and, you
See
can
how I did
say
that for you?
whatever you want. We stay away from the real bad ones just because we don't wanna offend people we love.
Gotcha, gotcha. So I was like, I missed, like, there were gaps that I missed, even though I thought I did everything to prepare. There
Sure.
were gaps that I missed, and I think, at least an attentive enough parent, to, to think that I did an adequate job,
Mhm.
and so like that's somebody who wants to be a parent. There are some people who just don't want to be parents or don't want to be parents to their particular children, right?
Yeah.
And
So now they're not even giving that extra benefit of teaching to them because they're at odds maybe for whatever reason. I don't wanna blame religion, but let's just say for whatever reason, they're at odds with what's going on with their maybe
yeah.
they're unhappy as a parent in other ways too.
Hmm.
And now they're not giving those kids those tools. And they have their own mental health issues even. There's so many variables. So now we have these kids who need those skills. And I
Yep.
love that you're trying to create this space where they can safely get these skills and they can feel at home and safe for a little while they build these skills so they can go on to be better young adults. Is that it? Did I get it there?
You did that. That is exactly what we're trying to do, and we
Love it.
also really want to build their confidence. Like that's a really big thing about this too, is that you are worthy. You are you are somebody that matters, and you will be seen. And I think
Yes.
that is just that's something that we need to really really make sure that these kids understand, these young adults understand, is that they do have a place here, and they are loved,
Yeah. I love
and
that.
and also too, yes, we want to be this particular safe haven as well, for folks who come from backgrounds that may disadvantage and or unsupportive,
Mhm.
but we also want this to be an empowering place too, so we really want to have those people who want to make their lives better, who have that drive, and we really want to give them that little advantage, right? We, like I said, we will pay for everything for them up until they leave. We're still trying to figure out how long that period will be,
Yeah.
but I want them to go
I
out
think
into
it's
this
gonna be
world.
hard because it would have to be variable because certain people grow at
Mhm.
different rates, and as
Yep.
long as you're tracking growth and so hi, this is the behavior specialist in me. So I've
No,
been a behavior
absolutely. Yep.
specialist for many years. Um, and so the state pays for anybody who needs behavioral health in Pennsylvania, which is a really cool thing. And they gauge it based on progress. So if the child doesn't make any progress at first, they're like, that's okay, they're still learning. If they continue to not make progress, they're like, listen, this service isn't working.
Mhm.
Now, as long as that child is making a little bit of progress and they're showing that there's progress being made, they say, let's keep them in this.
Yep.
Now, if they make a huge amount of progress, then they're like, all right, great, they did good. It's time to end the service. So that's true. If the kid
Mhm.
makes a huge amount of progress, then they don't need the service any longer. And that's when you would say, hey, it's time for you to move on
Mhm.
to your new home that you figure out how to do yourself because you know how to budget and you know how to do
Yep.
everything.
Yep. Yep.
And if but as long as they're making progress, so as you create that next stage of your progress, you might wanna use that scale. Find a way that you are assessing their progress, and as long as they're making some progress, they can stay.
I'm
So
sending you what we have to put together because
yeah,
Allison and I
'cause if
I
you
think
come up
we
with a concrete
yeah,
number and you say, "Listen, it's gonna be" they have 13 months,
right.
okay? I don't
Yep,
know why I came up with
absolutely.
that random number. Um, and then you have somebody who is progressing but just isn't there yet. Maybe there's one more piece they haven't caught on to.
Mhm.
Then you wanna put something in that says they're allowed to have a certain amount more time, and then
Mhm.
you're creating this if you come up with, "Hey, it's based on progress, and if they meet this criteria by this time," that would be I don't know. I'm not trying to jump in with that. I'm sorry. I am
No,
trying to jump in with that.
no, absolutely. And it's really funny because, like I said, Allison and I thought about that the first time. Are you all
Mhm.
right? I was like, "Whoa, where'd you
No,
go?"
my shoe fell off. No,
And
I'm just fixing my shoe. I'm sorry. I
no,
forget that
you're
I'm on
fine.
camera.
You're fine. I was like, "Holy shit, you fell off the chair."
No, no, no. I'll
But
I'll try not to pick at myself too much because I forget I'm on camera. I'm just talking. Just talking to my friends.
that's right. But we did put this just like out of our heads, like,
Yeah,
check-in points, making sure that
I love
we
that. Yeah.
have like KPIs, but like whatever that is in behavioral terms, right? Like,
Yeah.
and eventually we want to make sure that we have the mental health care, the social work
Mhm.
resources, and the child development resources, or young adult, in that area, so that when we go national, because that is my goal, to have something like this in all of the 50 states.
Yeah,
I really, really want to get down south very, very quickly, but
I
that
know.
all depends on everybody who supports us and believes in our mission. But
If you don't mind, I wanna share a few more of
sure.
our comments. I have someone who wrote knowledge equals power and
Hmm.
options equal
Yeah.
opportunity, and I love
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
And
Hmm.
then a child of yours wrote, "You are a good mother, just so you know." And, La Lady Shay chimed in with, "Yeah, like, there are these different variables, so there's all these different reasons why someone might end up in this situation, and they're
Hmm.
young, but they don't have all the tools they need." So I
Correct.
agree. And, and then we have a woman who is married with children who says, "This would work on me." So she wants to come to your house. I get it though. I get it because it does sound like such a wonderful. I feel warm talking about it. It sounds like a warm place.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
and that's what
that's
we
why
really strive for. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to like. I don't know if I'm trying to get feelings for people, and I have to tell you, I've known you for many years. And when I talk to you, that has always been my feeling is that you're
Oh,
this warm, you give me like a purple blue feeling. I don't know what that means. And I don't know that I track people's colors and all that. I know some people are like that, but that is how I feel around you. Like I just feel like that's my friend and you always have something positive. And I just every time you talk about this, I'm like, this is so exciting because this is such a good idea. And I feel like just what you said, like you want to get it everywhere and it will just benefit so many people. And even if it's half of that, I just can't believe how many people it's gonna help, and
yeah.
that's so
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so wonderful.
so we definitely want so we're starting out small, right? Because
Yeah,
clearly we have to,
it's the way to do
build
it.
up
Learn
the
it. Yeah.
community and, make sure that people know about us and who we are. So we're gonna start Sunday dinners. So
Okay.
what's more family than Sunday dinners, right?
Yeah.
So we really want to get the LGBTQ community around in our area
Mhm.
to come to these Sunday dinners and talk to us about what they need. We will bring also we'll do the whole thing, but not in a house setting, right? We'll have folks come
Mm.
in, we'll have speakers come in.
Mhm.
We will have Sunday dinner. So if you want to come and help prep, like you can do that too. You'll learn to cook. And that's how we want to start the community
I
around
love
here
that.
with those Sunday
Yes.
dinners.
Such a simple step to just
Mm,
and some people, and I'm sure you've already thought of this, who are in a situation where maybe they don't feel the most supported, but they still are there. This would
Yeah.
give them a place to kind of escape to just for Sunday afternoons. I'm gonna
yep.
go to that place on Sunday afternoons and connect with the people that understand me and connect with me and can start their journey that way. So even if they're living somewhere else, they have this other place they can be themselves, and I love that.
hmm
That's really cool that you've came up with Sunday dinners. I
Yeah.
think that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so excited. And we really just want these folks to be themselves, to be their authentic, true selves,
Yeah.
and just to have confidence in that. That's my main thing. I
Mm.
don't want anybody or anyone anywhere to feel like they have to hide or they have to change who they are, or they have to, change their behavior to fit in. There's no reason for that. Just having people being comfortable, in the skin that, they're in
You're in.
is just
Yeah.
the most important
Yeah.
thing for me.
Yeah.
And we're super excited too. We actually have, and I think I emailed you, I messaged you about this. We are going to be at the PNC Bank Arts Center in New Jersey, in Homedale, New Jersey,
Yes,
for 6 shows. So Holworth House will be represented at 6 shows. That
Nice.
place holds 17,000 people. So, that's 6 chances to touch 17,000 people,
So what do the
God's best
volunteers
very
do?
fun.
You were looking for some volunteers. Tell me what
Yeah.
they
So the volunteers for this event, basically what we're going to do is we're going to have a table, right? And we're going to have some postcards, some pins, swag, because I love swag.
you do.
And it's also a good way to, for somebody to be like, oh, Huntworth House,
Mhm.
So we're going to have there, but basically what our volunteers are going to be doing there is not only talking about Huntworth House, but also, answer, like trying to answer questions. So, and like we want to be educated when we're there because we know we're going to have questions, right, about
Yeah.
what we're doing, who we're serving, why are we serving these particular folks, why should I support them, nobody's supporting, this. And it's, so we really want to let everybody know exactly like why we're doing this and have
Mhm.
some educational pieces to it as well. And then that'll be supported on
Thomas,
our
can I ask you
um,
a question? I want your input on this because I feel
Mhm.
like there's a situation right there.
Mhm.
You are the king of this line of thinking. So someone comes out with this is Thomas has his strong suits that I like go to him for. When somebody says like, "Oh, they have it's free for that drug that stops people from overdosing, but it's not free
oh,
for me to
Narcan.
have my diabetes medicine." And you're like,
No.
well, we want that all to be free, and but this is a good step, and you know, overdosing, people don't, you know, if you have diabetes, you've already told us all. We all know you have diabetes, and we're looking for it. The guy who's doing drugs, who's in our circle of friends, we have no idea because he's hiding it from us, and it's good to have that. But that's a whole nother fight. Yes. So Thomas, what I was thinking is, do you have any words? And I'm sorry to put you on the spot like this. Hey,
No,
you're on
no,
the
no.
spot. So if somebody was like, "Well, why are you creating this spot for only these particular people, and you're not creating it for every teenager and blah 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 blah." What do you think? What are you thinking?
Because not every teenager goes through this. Because it's not every teenager. Because 40% of most kids that are thrown out of their homes are LGBTQ. 40%. That's why.
I didn't even know you had a statistic in you on this one.
Yeah, because it's 40%. Yes. Because it doesn't affect a lot of teenagers, because teenagers that are quote unquote straight or quote unquote in the norm, they don't really have a lot of these issues that LGBTQ kids have. They're
Okay.
not thrown out of their homes at the same rate. I'm not saying that they're not thrown out of their homes ever. I'm
Right.
just saying that they're not thrown out of their homes at the same rate. You know, and do I sound passionate about that? Yes, because it's a very high statistic. It's an extremely high statistic.
That is a high statistic,
Mhm.
and I didn't know that it was a number, and I
Insane.
appreciate that
Yeah.
you had it on the top of
42,
your,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm glad I asked.
yeah, absolutely.
Now, if I had asked him about it and it had nothing to do with that topic, but it was just about switching, he would have an answer for it, and that's why I knew. I just knew that that's one of those things that he has
I get
answers for.
calls. Yeah, I get random calls. What is blah 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 blah? Or I get random messages. What is blah 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 blah?
Why is
Yeah.
this not a home for veterans?
Yeah.
I love veterans, and there's lots of amazing veteran
Mhm.
homes that are already out there, but this is for this specific demographic.
For
Yeah.
veterans, yes, I happen to even know the answer to that, because the funding for veterans is actually short. It's been shortened to such an extent that they don't have adequate funding, which is why VA hospitals, VA clinics, VA medical offices are suffering, because they need the
Yeah.
funding. It's like they went to go fight for our freedom. They went overseas. They went to Afghanistan. They went to Iraq. They went here. They went there. They fought Vietnam War. This, that, the other. And yet, when they come back, they're not given the dignity and the care that they deserve,
Agreed.
having gone through the jungle, being exposed to Agent Orange.
Mhm.
You know,
And
there's
I have to say, here
There.
in our area, Thomas doesn't know this because he's out of state,
Mm.
is a wonderful place over in Jonas, where they in Jonas, Pennsylvania, which is actually halfway between us and when you come out and stay, your friend's house. And they have this amazing home for veterans, for homeless veterans. And that's a side note,
Mm.
but I do want to shout them out because they're kind of amazing. And it might be that'll be a connection for Dot in the future as she builds her community. Like, they started from scratch just like this.
Yeah.
And it was only a few years ago, and then they have this amazing home now that they house homeless veterans and
I
kind
love
of
that.
actually
Yeah.
ironically get them back on their feet, give them some skills, and they try to find them other homes. So there is this connection, and you might need to make some connections there, like as we
Yeah.
brainstorm here.
Yeah,
But I didn't mean to
absolutely.
cut you off.
Speaking-
I just knew Thomas would have something on that.
Yeah. Speaking of connections, so Dot, I want to give you. I mean, it's public knowledge. I want you to contact. I mean, completely up to you, but the True Colors House, the True Colors Fund. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Is that
It's
Cyndi Lauper?
Yes. Contact her manager. Her and her manager 25 years ago, created the True Colors Fund, and is essentially doing the exact same thing that you're doing.
Oh,
And I can't imagine. Her name is Lisa Barbarese. She has a soul. She's just pure-hearted. She's a wonderful woman. She's Cyndi Lauper's manager. Contact Lisa. I mean, if you go to the True Colors, I have to find the exact website, but if you were to find,
Yeah, and we can definitely send you some of this,
Yeah.
after the show as well. But it does happen. Thomas knows people.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so contact Lisa
Okay.
and say, hey, I was on TJ McCabe's radio show with his friend Michelle and blah blah blah. Like, say who you are. Say yes, I know TJ McCabe and I know blah 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 blah, and I'll give you some more keywords and stuff.
Yeah.
But Lisa and I go back a very long way. I've known Lisa 23 years now, on and
that's
off
awesome.
for over 20 years. And she's just a wonderful woman. She does excellent work. And she's just pure hearted. I can't imagine her being like, no, I'm not going to give you more information, not to help you. get this
No.
project
Well, let me
off
tell
the
you
ground."
something.
So, you know,
I did reach out to somebody or an organization that I'm very close with that I volunteer for,
mhm.
and I got like the brush off, and I was really,
Oh.
really not. I
Uh-oh.
was like, are you kidding me? Like, I had said a lot of things in that, and in my message to this particular organization, and like it was about partnering, and I want to be a resource
Yeah.
for you eventually, and also I would really love some information about like nonprofit work.
Mm.
And that's all that they focused on was like, we can't help you. We're not a nonprofit, take
Oh.
care. Bye. And I was like,
Oh.
oh, so like that to me, like that scares me to reach out. You know what I mean? When you
Yeah.
have that
Oh,
first,
no.
interaction.
What's the worst they could say? No.
No,
what's the-
absolutely.
know,
Absolutely. It's
but
just
no,
like,
I can't
ugh.
imagine her saying no. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine them. And I don't want
That's
to make
not
it
what
sound
that's
like
about. It's not what that organization's about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's about the opposite. It's about trying to do the same type of mission. So
yeah,
and it's not like you're in competition because they have their cities that they focus on, and
Yeah.
you're kind of focused on the country unintentionally. So
Unintentionally,
Which is great.
intentional, but unintentional at this
yes,
point.
we
You
are
know?
in the country. We live in the country. She and I.
it's manifesting on a grand scale, and I love that. It's manifesting on a very big scale, and that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Which ties into our show because that's what I mean. We have other topics, but we always go back to manifesting. I guess it's all
Yeah.
about that in the end.
It is, yeah. No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, it's absolutely true because I accomplished everything that I've accomplished so far
Mm,
in a very, I don't want to say it's easy because it's not, but in a non-blocked way. I was just able to do, this next step. Oh, this next step.
As,
Oh, this is, and it's been easy. So I
Mhm.
can't
that's
imagine
the way
that
it's supposed to
something.
be.
that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the way we manifest.
That's awesome. When you have a passion and you're excited about it, it just starts to come to you.
Yeah.
As does this next commercial break that we're going to have right now because we missed one already. We're going to do it
Uh-oh.
now.
I'm sorry.
Whoopsie
No,
doo.
it was good stuff. It was because we were so happy and talking about all these great things. So here we are. We got to pay for them, though. We got to pay for them for
Yeah, we gotta pay
WTAP.
Okay, men. This is your time.
So
You
loud.
choose this. But you're here now. You're gonna go out there
Okay.
and be an
Cool.
all-star.
This is going really well. And I know we
It's up to you.
interrupted in weird ways, but
So
I
what are
think
you
it was
gonna do?
okay. That's good with everybody.
You
We're
gotta
all
go
good.
grocery shopping.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm
What's
so
the
excited
benefit?
that I've been able to
Gotta
talk
dig
about,
deeper.
Yeah.
what we're
think it's-
about, and just,
Not
this is the
just
first
what
time
you
that
know
we've
about the
actually had a
pharmacy.
platform to
No,
get,
you won't.
the
Because
information about of who we are.
That's what caregivers do.
So I just really
give up.
appreciate it from the both
You're not
of you.
pressed for
Ever
can we keep
give
you?
up.
Can we you're not
This
pressed
is
for
your
time, right?
time.
Like can we
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, please.
And
Yeah.
yourself.
No, because I want you to to just keep reiterating exactly what you do. I want our listeners to know. Anyone that's tuning in now, anyone that's tuning in late, anyone that's tuning in, I want them.
We should announce the names again. We should do that.
Yeah, we want to announce you again. We want to get your name out. We want to get
Hi,
your
I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my
And,
nieces
is
play
Jillian
and
your
learn
niece?
is amazing.
Or cousin?
Not every child
My
is
sister-in-law.
free. One in
She
six
says
kids
wonderful
in the
things about you
US
too.
are
I just
hungry.
couldn't figure
One
out how
in
to slide them
six.
into
That
the
little girl sitting
conversation.
alone at the playground, she can play like the
Aw.
other
Sunday
kids.
dinners
She
build
doesn't
strong
have the
families from
energy
Jillian.
because
She
she's
said other nice
hungry.
things too.
Oh,
School
well,
lunch
that's
is
an absolute. So
only
that's
meal today.
for
It
Holworth
breaks my
House.
heart that this is
So
the
I should
reality of the
probably
country,
wait. Like,
but it's
I-
something.
Oh,
that
we'll
feeding
say,
America
yeah, we'll talk
Yeah.
about it
needs to
at the
change.
break over.
Each
yeah,
year,
but
the
like there's
Network
a
of
reason
Food
why she
Banks
says that.
rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste.
I
This
love all
food
your
is then
stuff in the
provided to
back,
families
too.
and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having
yeah,
fun.
reach out to
These
Lisa.
children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid.
Oh, absolutely,
hungry.
absolutely.
Find out how
I
you
don't
can
want to
help
make
end
it sound
childhood
like,
hunger in your
oh,
community. Visit
mention me,
feedingamerica.org.
definitely mention
Brought
me.
to you by
Oh,
Feeding
absolutely.
America and
You
the
know,
I'll
definitely.
mention anybody you tell me to.
WTHC. This is the Perfect Positivity Show. And tonight we have Dot Davies from Haworth House. Am I saying it right? I don't feel like I am.
Holworth
Haworth?
House.
Oh, yeah, I said it right.
Yeah,
Yay!
you
I was saying it wrong originally. Haworth House. Yes. And you can find them at facebook.com/Haworth House, which is just HAWORTH house. And they will be launching a website really soon, but we'll announce that tomorrow. We'll actually post it on our page and share it out to everybody when they're ready for that. They're, I don't want to trip up their pages. They're building it, but their Facebook page is amazing and tells a lot about them. And we want to get back to our amazing conversation with Dot. So where were we going, you guys? We were talking about family and
So,
this is what we were talking about at the commercial. Family
and you
and
had mentioned Jill had said something. So Jill is my sister-in-law,
okay.
and she did bring up something about Sunday dinners. And so a couple different things about the reason why it's Holworth House. Holworth House was a house in Holworth, New Jersey, that my husband's family owned, the Sprague family, and it was a house that like anybody could go to. So like if you got kicked out of your apartment, you go into Holworth House. If you were having trouble in your marriage, you went to Holworth House. If you and your family didn't have anywhere to go and you wanted to just, save money, right? You went to Holworth House. Jesse and I actually also lived there. If you go on our website and you see the picture of the house, the top windows above the porch, that was our bedroom. And it was a place where we were able to save money so we could move out into our own apartment. And when we came up with this idea, I was like, we got to name it. And Jess, who's my husband, went, it has to be Holworth House. And I was like, why? And he's like, you have no idea. He's like, it has to be Holworth House. He's like, that house meant so much to me and my family. And to us, like, that's the only logical name for it.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that house was sold and demolished. But when we did have that house, when our kids were little, I think Em was probably, I guess like maybe from birth. Yeah. We used to go there and have Sunday dinners there. So, if it was the traditional Sunday dinner, my husband's family's English. So, it was the roast beef, the Yorkshire pudding, all that kind of awesomeness. Or if it was just, we grilled hamburgers and hot dogs outside, the kids played in the yard and we were on the tree
just
swing.
to get together and be
Yeah,
with family.
And that's why Jill said that, because that's exactly what it was for our family.
Oh, I love
And
it.
what food is love. Like when you bring people into your home. My family did this all the time. We invited anyone that ever wanted a meal in. Come eat. It's true. It's how we show love. Where do most homes center the essence of home? Through the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's
and
showing
think about
love.
what you pass on. The things that you pass on generation to generation is recipes.
Yes.
Yep.
It's recipes. We always had kibasi that was fresh kibasi that's boiled the day before and then it's cold and sliced up with horseradish. It sounds weird. We're Polish. We're Polish people. And it is absolutely delicious. And this is something I do it for every holiday. And it's like, I don't know how to put it. That's my family's tradition. We do this on the holidays. And it's like my grandmother did it. And then it's very sad because my grandmother used to make clam chowder. And out at the bungalow, Thomas is familiar with our little bungalow. Out at the bungalow, she used to always, my grandfather would go clamming. He'd come back with clams and she would make clam chowder. And I don't know how to make the clam chowder. My mom doesn't know how to make the clam chowder. It was not shared with us how to make the clam chowder. And it's something every summer we say, wish we could have the clam chowder. Like, so food. So this Sunday dinner and making that connection and that it all ties together. I agree. It's love. And as somebody who is a recovering food addict, without a doubt, to say that it is hard, but you can still have those foods you love just in smaller portions and reasonable. And when I feel sad, I shouldn't eat a whole tiramisu. Just have a small piece. That's another show for another day.
Oh, I will be on that show. Let me tell you.
Yes. I think you're similar to me, and I don't, and not to blow you out of the water, but I've lost 150 pounds.
I know. I saw
So
you and I said
I
to Jesse,
found
I was like, oh my God. I'm like, Michelle looks so different. And
Yeah.
he's like, why? And I'm like, she's so friggin' thin now. I'm like, I was
I'm really
blown
not all
away.
that thin, to be completely
Yes,
honest with you
are.
guys, but I am very
Yes, you
comfortable with
are.
myself. I am
Mhm.
very healthy and I can do what I need to do
I
now.
love it.
It really helps me mentally because I'm like, oh, I can go out and as you just said, my son is earthy. He's a Boy Scout. He's out doing
Yeah.
these physical
Mhm.
things. And he's like, why can't you come to my ceremony we're having in the woods? And I'm like, but, 2 years ago, I would say, because I can't get there. I'm not
Right.
walking.
Yeah.
Right.
And now I'm
right.
like, I'll hike out, sure. And
Yep,
that was what it was
absolutely.
about for me. It was really
Yeah.
about that. So I feel much better where I am. My doctors really would like me to lose a little bit more, and I'm
They always
trying, and
do.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and trying to stay healthy and drinking all the water I can drink. And
Mhm.
ownyourwater.org supports us. There are people, so definitely go to them. I'm
Ooh.
just putting that in there, and that is a lot of how my success happened, was drinking a lot of water. And that's Thomas's company, by the way, for transparency. But it's a lot about being healthy, making the right choices. You don't see me drinking soda anymore. You might see me. This is an iced coffee. I am drinking a homemade iced coffee, which is a lot healthier than the ones from
Mm.
a restaurant. And then drinking my water and drinking my water and drinking my water. But anyway, my point is, you can still enjoy those things, and I do still have a little touch of this and a little touch of that, so I can remember my family and think of my grandma and think of people I love. And if anybody knows how to make a good Manhattan clam chowder that could rival my grandmother's, please share the recipe with me.
Please write. Yes. Yes. Please send us a message.
Send us a message, and we will share it
Immediately.
with you guys, and maybe one Sunday you guys can have that as one of your foods.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I would love that.
You know
I
what
will
we
teach you how to
should
make
do?
the kibasi too.
That's an excellent idea. We should do a food night. We should do a recipe, an old-timey recipe night where we share food idea. Oh, that's a
love
great
that.
idea. We
love
should
that.
share food ideas. We're gonna have Dot back, and then we go through old recipes and where it came from. And yes, jot this
Oh, I
down because I
would
saw
love
your
that.
pen in your hand. Jot this down. I saw you doing it. Yeah, I saw you doing it. Jot this down, and I think that'd be a great night where we talk
Yeah.
about. Yes. So anyone listening,
Recipes that bring you joy. The recipes
Yes.
that bring
Oh.
you joy.
everyone
Steve.
listening, please send us recipes and the story.
My mom
behind
just
it.
wrote that she knows how to make the clam chowder.
Oh,
Dun,
So I
dun,
thought she
dun.
didn't, but she just put that in the feed, just so we know.
I
That's a whole nother
see.
show.
All
Mom.
right, Carol. All right.
She hasn't been making
I
the
see
clam
you.
chowder. There's no clam chowder made.
I
I
see
can
you,
catch the
Carol.
clams.
All
I
right.
know how to catch the clams. I got that down. I can
All
do
right.
that with my feet. Oh, I don't even use I don't even use the clamming rake. I just catch them with my feet.
Oh, okay.
That's
Wow.
a skill I
Okay.
have.
Okay.
We all have skills.
Yes, recipes that bring us joy.
Oh, she
Yes.
says she chooses
Stand-
not to. She didn't like it as much as I did.
She chooses
Oh.
not
She
to.
chooses not. She's making it this summer
Mom.
now. It's gonna be made.
Carol.
Well, let me tell you,
Are we still supposed to be talking about your cause? I'm so sorry.
I know you're not. I just before my grandmother passed away, and a lot of our traditions come from my dad's side, which is the Czech side.
Okay.
So what I did was I bought a notebook and I had her write all of the recipes in Czech on the one side, and
Oh,
then I gave it to
fantastic.
my dad, and he translated it. So I have all of her recipes. So Christmas time, my kids know we bring out the cookbook.
Love it.
And we do these cookies and like we do babka and like all the recipes from the book. Yeah.
That
So I'd
is
love to share
amazing.
that with any for y'all. I'd love to teach our folks to
But
do that
we're
too.
gonna have to do like a whole thing. Maybe it's a
Yes.
whole event where we're doing like food all day, and we have all different
Yes.
people coming on about their food or something. Because
Yes.
I think
Oh
there's
my
too
God,
much
that'd be
for 2
amazing.
hours.
Yeah. Tell the
Yeah.
stories of their favorite. Yes.
Because I could fill up the rest of our time right now, and I'm
Yeah.
trying. I'm trying not to. Like it's my brain is going to
So, okay, so let's do this. So let's circle back. Dot.
Yes.
Why were we talking? Even though Michelle and I already know, why were we talking about Sunday dinners and your cause? I want to circle it back to your cause because I do want to talk about that more. And because I know that I'm getting text messages and I'm getting messages that there are new listeners. How were we talking about Sunday dinners? How are you bringing people in to talk about Sunday dinners, and why are you doing it? And just go back into that because I want them to hear about your cause again.
Sure, sure. So we just started a nonprofit called Hallworth House, and basically what we want to do is we want to create a safe environment, and we also want to give young adults skill building and educational opportunities, and especially to our LGBTQ young people. Right now, as I hope everybody is aware, there is so much anti-LGBTQ legislation going around
Mhm.
in the United States today, and it's very scary. It's very scary
Yeah.
for LGBTQ people in my life, and it's very scary to be a parent as well. And my husband and I came up with this kind of idea that kind of morphed from a bed and breakfast idea into this safe place for LGBTQ folks who either come from unsupportive backgrounds, maybe have no good place to transition if they do, if they are going down that path, and LGBTQ folks who want to make a difference and they want to have that advantage. So they what we are planning to do is making sure that we provide everything for them. So hopefully by the end of 2024 we will have a house, hopefully with 6 occupants in it, that
Oh, I think
everything
you
will be
will. I
taken
think you will.
Yeah.
everything will be taken care of for them, from the laundry detergent to their food, their clothing. I want to make sure they get a clothing stipend. So all that folks need to do that are in our home,
Mhm.
is to concentrate on themselves, right? To make sure that they have the confidence and they know that it is okay to be who they are. It is okay to be gay. It is okay to be trans. It is okay to be a lesbian. It is okay to be
Yes.
anything that you want
Anything
to
that you
be
want. Yeah.
or that you are, and have the confidence, live it and own it. And we really, really want to instill that in these young people so that when they go out into the world and they will have all the advantages, right? They'll have a little bit of money. We will help them try to find safe and inclusive
I'm
places
gonna
for
tell
them.
you, it was something you had said this to me when we were talking about this, and I know you haven't worked out all the details yet, but this is something that's such a huge thing. You have somebody who has a job, and
Mhm,
maybe they have some of the tools, and now they are in a position where they have to move out of their house right away.
mhm,
Um, they've come out to their parent, whatever the case may be, they need to get out of that house right away. It's not a safe zone for them anymore. And, now they need 3 months of rent. They don't need 1 month of rent. They have a job, they're doing the right steps. They need 3 months of rent. And I kept thinking about what you said. You were like, "I wanna help them maybe, if they come to us for a little while and get those skills and maybe they're saving up, or maybe we help them with a stipend to get them into their own place because they are ready for it." And that
mhm,
I it's such a scary thought for anybody right now. 3 months of rent when the rents are so high
mhm,
for small places. There
mhm,
is a little tiny house. It is a small little house not far from between you and I, Dot,
mhm.
and they want $2,900 a month for the rent in that little tiny
Oh
house.
my God.
$2,900.
Mm,
Who has 10 grand
Yeah,
sit
hold on. To walk in the door. Now, you're gonna move into a new place, you're also gonna need what? I might need a
first.
new rug. I might
And
a
need
last
rug,
month, you need a
paint,
rug, you need yep,
a couch?
so now every single
yep,
Like,
dime has gone
yeah.
to your first and last month, and if they want a security or they have any of those things, and I just thought that alone is such a
mhm,
godsend to somebody.
Yeah.
So maybe there's somebody who's just doing Sunday dinners. They don't need to come to you, live with you completely,
mhm,
and now they're in a different circumstance, and all 6 of your beds are full, but you might have that ability to help them get into their own place, and I
mhm,
just
Right.
thought to myself,
Right.
what a gift. What a gift that could be to somebody who's in an urgent that's homelessness
mhm.
versus having a home, and gosh, homelessness is a real issue
Big
right
thing.
now.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Big,
Oh, absolutely.
huge thing.
And as, Thomas said before, you know, LGBTQ youth are, I think, what did you say, 40% of
40%.
folks?
40
Uh,
homeless.
yeah. And also too, we're talking about creating a safe and positive environment for these folks as well. Another amazing statistic, and it's actually from the Trevor Project, is that suicide decreases by 40% if they have one accepting
I
adult
saw that.
in their life.
One accepting adult. I saw
To
that.
have
something
one.
as well.
We're ready for 6 of you. Like, come on in, you know.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too, is we do want to impact those folks who also think that there is no other alternative, right? You know, come to Sunday dinner, know that you are accepted here, know that you are in a room full of accepting adults. You know, we want to help you. We want to have you live your best life. That's why we're here. So yeah, just so excited to get the word out, you know, to have folks understand, you know, our mission, hoping folks connect with our mission, and you know, really help us make that a reality in 2024. That would just be the icing on the cake.
That would be
Yeah.
excellent. And you don't need to know. I know we've said a lot. I said a lot of times, we don't have everything worked out. You guys don't have everything worked out, and that's okay. You don't need to have everything worked out, because part of the show we spoke about last week and the week before. You know, one of the analogies I gave was, you know, you can drive from New York to California in the middle of the night using nothing but the headlights on your car, because the only thing you ever need to make the entire journey is just the next 200 feet. You know, you don't need to know what the weather is in Utah. You don't need to know what the weather is in California when you leave New York. You know, you're too far ahead. All you need is the next 200 feet. And it sounds like you're doing that. Just stay your course. You know?
No, I appreciate that, because
Yeah.
it really, I don't want to say we're a ragtag group of, you know, nonprofit folks, but we kind of are. I mean,
Yeah.
like, if you saw all of us, you'd be like, holy shit, like, what are you guys doing?
That's how it starts, though. That's how all of this starts. It starts from, you know, this radio station was literally built with like bubble gum and paper clips.
Mm.
You know,
Yes.
this show was built with bubble gum and paper clips.
Well, yeah, it was just an idea. I'm going to tell you, when we talk about impulse and making something happen, and you're saying like you just put it together. First of all, you were so organized. I think, Thomas, you don't realize this. I've referenced how organized she was when you and I were starting to do stuff, and I was like, I have this friend, and she knows how to like the way that you were networking with people and trying to bring people in on everything. I was just so impressed with that, because I was missing that skill, that it's called executive functioning in the behavior specialist world. And I was missing some of these executive functioning skills, these little steps to get there. I said to Thomas one day, let's start a podcast on Sunday. Let's do it. And he was like,
This is Saturday.
It was like Thursday. Yeah.
It was maybe Thursday. And I was like, we don't have any followers yet, but we're gonna, and we're just gonna
like
go.
5 people. Yeah. We had like 5 people, and then we sent it out, and then there were people that ended up messaging both of us.
Yes.
That we didn't even know were listening.
Yes.
I personally got a call from one of my dearest friends, who hopefully she'll be a guest next week, where we did a show about taking the word but out of your vocabulary and using the word and, because but sets up resistance. You know, I really love this business model, but take the word but out, it sets up resistance. So she was listening to that whole show, and she took the word but out of her vocabulary, and she called me at the end of the week before we ended up doing the very next show, and she said, I have to tell you what a different, and I said hello, the phone rang, I said hello, and she just went right into, I have to tell you what a difference this made, and oh my God, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Barb, is that you? Like, what? And she was like, this made me so happy. So I didn't even know that she was listening. I didn't even know. And so what we're finding is, and what you will absolutely find, which I think you've already found, when you get what's called inspired action, when you get that impulse,
yes,
take it. It is a sign. It is a signal. Let's
just go with it.
It is a spark. Go with it.
Yes.
See where it takes you. You're being guided towards something. You know, you're being guided towards something.
And no matter what you believe, too, it's like, okay, if you believe in, like, you just believe in your instincts and to follow your instincts, great.
Let it be instincts.
Let it be instincts. If you believe it's God, it's God. Yeah.
Let it be Yahweh. Let it be whatever.
When I talk too often, we have our same speech. We both it. Let it be God. It's God.
Whatever.
Let it be whatever you want. Yeah.
No, I totally get it. I totally get it.
And you said it before. You were like, there was no resistance. Like you.
Nope.
And I don't know that you and I have ever had those conversations before. Like, this he and I have these conversations
Mhm.
constantly. So we might bounce these things back and forth a lot. You and I have never had these conversations
No.
per se. We're always talking about our kids typically and
Yeah.
what thing we have to
What
go
other
to.
fun thing? Yeah.
Sometimes kayaking, we're like, I like to be on the water, not
Are you out on the lake today? Because I
I'm
am on
like
the lake today.
I am on the lake here.
Are you
Here's a
on the
picture of me
lake?
on the lake. Yes. Which I go on the lake because I find it a peaceful place where I can connect with my
Mm.
inner being and
Yep.
kind of hear myself and get my inner thoughts in place. And that's why I like to go there.
Mhm.
Because it's quiet and you're not distracted by life. And
Yeah.
I find it to be a really one of those places to refresh your soul. And
I agree.
yeah, yeah. We never
I
had that
totally agree.
conversation, but I knew that's why you did
No,
it.
no, absolutely. And like everything, like I was like, "Hey, I want to start a nonprofit," "Oh,
Yeah,
this is really cool."
yeah,
And then I'm like, "Oh, I got to get this." And like it was there, and
yeah.
like, "Oh, I have to do this." And it was easy and I just registered for, the charitable giving so I can give or people can give us
Did
money in
did you
Pennsylvania,
get
right?
some
Like fundraising.
connection through that connection I gave you or the group of nonprofit people that all get together?
Yes. Yes,
Good,
so
good.
yes, so love that. I did join that group, and I wanna
They're
go to their
they're cool.
breakfast, which we
Yes.
probably their breakfast, so I have to see, because I have a
And
job now,
there's
I'm
a
so excited. I
oh,
got a job.
congratulations. I did
Excellent.
not know that.
Yes,
That's
thank gosh.
wonderful.
Yeah, I'm
Yay.
working
All
at,
right.
Urban Alliance, so
Oh,
it's another nonprofit.
that's all right because
All
you're gonna
right.
learn from them stuff that you can use to build
Yep.
yours. What a great
Mhm.
opportunity.
Yep.
That's
Yeah, and
perfect.
a lot of the stuff I did learn, I worked at the Trevor Project for 3 years?
Oh, I
Mhm.
didn't
2 and a
know
half,
that.
3 years? Yeah. Yeah,
Fantastic.
so
I love the
that's
Trevor Project. What a great
that's
organization.
it really is, and that's where I kind of got it was very difficult for me, and let me tell you why. Not because I'm old, but, like, it's a part of it, there's a different language that folks speak now. There's a different air of how you need to talk to other people, and
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
to say, like, it's being rude or whatever, but, like, the way that we talk to people in our 20s is not the way that people talk to other people in their
In
20s
in their
now, right? It's very intentional speech.
I was gonna say deliberate,
It's very
yes.
deliberate. The things that come out of their mouth are very deliberate and thought about. And so I was in that
They're not
environment.
mincing words, and we're
No.
talking around stuff because that's how
Mhm.
we were brought up, and it's a
You
good
know?
and bad thing. There are good
Mhm.
things about it, and there are bad things about it, and it is 100% you're on the money with that, and I was talking to an employer about it earlier today, so it's funny, this is on a lot of people's minds right
Yeah.
now, and
And
he's an older guy who is an employer, and he's great, and he's like, "I just don't get kids. I don't get
I
these young
know.
people." And
I
I'm
know.
like, "You're doing nothing wrong, you just don't like the way that they spoke to you." And he's like, "Well,
Mhm.
I'm the boss, like, they should be." He's used to people talking to him a certain way, and I'm
Yeah.
like, they're not
That's
trying to upset you.
Nope.
It is no not in any way trying to be disrespectful to you. They're only just saying what needs to be said, and that's it. They wanna go on to do the next thing. They have no
Yeah.
interest in that side relationship that you
Yeah.
know?
And even and even working prior to that, I was working with a younger person in New York, and I had said something, not thinking that it was offensive to my brain, but she actually was like, "Could you not say that around me?" And I was like, "What?"
There's that part too.
And it's just like they are very like, I want to let you know what bothers me, what doesn't bother
Mm.
me, so we don't have any
Mhm.
problems in the future,
Yes.
and I can appreciate that, but it's very difficult. It's very difficult, for somebody who grew up and their early experience, was, you do your work, you work until you're done, you go home, you come back the next day, there's no work-life balance, you're lucky if you see your kids, you're lucky if you see your
Mhm.
husband, your
Mhm.
partner, anybody. And then, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, why are you coming in at 11 o'clock? Oh, because, I just kind of wandered in at 11 and, I'm just going to work till 7
Yeah.
and it's totally fine. And I'm like,
It was
oh,
it was a constant argument in this situation in the job I was in where the person was like, "Does it matter if I come in at 9? Like, I'm getting all the work done." And we were like, "Well, it's really important to us." And they were like, "But why?" Like
Yeah.
they really didn't know why. And it wasn't them again being disrespectful. It's a different
just don't
mindset
know.
of if I'm
And
getting
that's
this work done, what does it matter? And
and
they're probably right.
yeah,
You
but
know?
there's the culmination of everything that we're trying to do and what we stand for.
Yeah.
Bringing all of that language, bringing
I was gonna
everything
say
into
maybe teaching
understanding.
the mix of that
Mhm.
because there is a happy medium there. Like sometimes you need to get yourself established with the company first so they know you. And then you can say, hey, listen, working 11 to 7 is going to be a better
Yeah,
shift for
that's
me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Not
you
just like,
probably like
okay.
pay your dues a little bit by going in the 9 to 5 and getting to know them and then showing them
Mhm.
how you can do it 11 to 7, and having that happy balance because there is a middle ground on some of that stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's from all of that. So the nonprofit work there,
Yeah.
I'm very excited because again, when you talk about things aligning, I just
Yeah.
happened, upon this particular job. A recruiter called
Mm.
me and it was just
Awesome.
like now I'm at a nonprofit, which is again, it also aligns, with my mission to help young people. Now we are helping young people up to 17, and Hallworth House is 18 to 25. But
So you have a set number. I like that too.
yeah, I mean, again, kind of baseline, like where we feel or where we've seen or observed, where folks have the most. I don't want to say problems. That's
Yeah.
not, but the opportunity for growth and
I see
not
that
really
vision.
knowing, what the next step for them could be, and to the point where also when you're 18 or 19 years old, I can't I don't understand why that is the age in which you need to know what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life, right? You're 18 years old.
But here's another way to think of that also. We have this expectation they're going to know what they have to do for the rest of their life to take the
Mhm,
training so they can get there. And
mhm,
I did not start the trainings that got me in my career where I was until I was in my 30s, by the way. But because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I actually thought
mhm,
I wanted to do something much, much different. So I agree with you 100% there. But also, you're 18, 19, and people expect you to have this stuff. So you're doing these things towards your future career. They also expect you to have a certain level of you should be doing this and you should be doing that.
mhm,
However, you're not forget about drinking and smoking. Of course, you're not able to do those till you're 21. That's fine. But you're also not allowed to rent a hotel room. You're not allowed to rent a car. You're not able to
mhm,
get good credit. So you can't buy a car. So now here's an expectation that you live in an apartment on your own independently,
mhm,
except you don't have the credit to get an apartment. A lot of renters, they do credit checks. Well, you don't have any
mhm.
credit at 18. You just got old enough
Exactly.
to have credit. So
Exactly.
it's like, oh yeah, go live independently, but you don't have credit.
But you don't have it.
Get a
And
car so you can get to do your job, but you don't have credit.
And the funny thing about the bed and breakfast that Jesse and I were talking about is we really went back and forth on this because we remember, right, when we were 19 and 20 years old, we wanted to go to Vermont and we wanted to do the bed and breakfast and we wanted to rent this and do all that. And everything is 21 plus. And it's just like, well, I'm a responsible and really awesome 20-year-old, here with my particular partner. Like, why can't we have those things at 20? What makes you magically responsible at 21?
You're called
I
an
don't
adult,
understand.
but there's so many things you're not able to do.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
legally there's no way for you to
Mhm.
get there to do it, and
Yep.
it is kind of amazing. So there is this tween we'll call it a tween, like those kids that are tweens, like
Yeah,
this
there's a
tween
tween in their
time,
20s.
20 tweens,
Yeah.
where you're not quite old enough to do these things, but you haven't
Mhm.
there's an expectation that you can handle them.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
like that you're creating this place for them to get those skills, and that's perfect. I
And
also like that we pay our bills, so we're gonna go take another
yes.
quick commercial break.
Yeah.
I'm good. Wait, smoothly. This is so smooth. Like I'm playing that song. I gave up on the songs again, by the way.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're
Okay.
Expecting.
Yeah, there's no transition song.
teenager.
Someday I'm gonna learn how to do it.
We're gonna learn how to do
I'm going
that.
help
Yeah.
them choose the team's line.
My husband
Now,
has
when a
taught me
teen says
numerous
something
times. He's
is
like, "This is how you
on
do it."
key, it's exactly like saying
It just
that's
plays in the middle of
rad.
a song. It
It
doesn't
simply
fade
means that
out.
something is
I give
awesome
up.
or cool.
I think I'm
Another
gonna
one
pre-cut
is
some stuff,
totes.
so it's
It's
done.
exactly
I'll
like
be right back.
saying
Hang on.
totally,
Oh, okay.
just shorter.
I think this is
As
going
in,
really well. I
I
hope that you
totes
feel like you're
love
getting
going
all
to
your
the
stuff
mall.
out there.
Oh my
Love
gosh,
is
absolutely. I
jokes.
just really appreciate the
Jelly is a
opportunity
shorter,
and the
better way to
platform.
say jokes.
Oh, we're so
As
happy
in,
to support this,
Chloe, I
and
am like so
I
jelly
I
of your
knew your
unicorn phone
personality
calls.
fit the theme of the show,
You don't have
and
to
the
speak to me to
kindness
be a
and of
perfect
this
parent.
project. I think
Thousands
fits
of
the,
teens
the
in foster
even though
care
we're
will
not
think
like
you're, rad, just the same.
you know that like they align.
learn
That's
more,
the best way to
visit
put it. I
Adopt
think
US
it
Oh,
aligns.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This
think,
is the story
I
of a
am like,
very
I'm like,
special
Jess, can
woman.
you please bring me something to
In a
drink?
matter
Hold
of
on one
seconds,
second.
That's okay. I play. I gotta play one of his commercials at some point too. So go ahead.
Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage
So
girl's
anybody who's
broken
there in
heart,
Facebook
which had
land,
been
we're just doing our
shattered
commercial
in
break for
1,000
WTHC
pieces.
because we
Just
have to
by
run
giving her a
commercials
bear
for the
hug,
radio
she
station,
masqueraded
and
as a
guests have
regular
all
person at
gone
work,
off to
but as a superhero at home.
that. Well,
Everyone knows
Thomas,
her as
the
Betty.
co-host, and Dr. Guest had
I
to
still
get
call her
water and
Mom.
get their stuff together. I'm drinking my own your water. Hold on,
Your
I'm gonna
hero
play.
needs you now, and AARP is
Wait,
here to
we
help.
still have another commercial.
Find the care guides you need to help, complete with
So here's
tips and
something that's funny,
resources
Dot, just so you
at
know. We hear the
aarp.org/caregiving.
AARP commercial, but when this
A
plays
public
out,
service announcement
it's
brought to you
whatever
by
local
AARP and the
commercial
Ad
that
Council.
radio station that township has. Oh, say bye bye to bottled water. Holistic Health Water has certified medical grade water ionizers that make 7 types of water. I think this voiceover person's wonderful.
I was just like, that's
List
your voice.
machine list 25 to 30 years.
I am
Simply
being,
attach your
I'm
faucet or
addicted
install
to
under your
this
sink.
friggin' stupid Mountain
Even
Dew.
get a mineral spa unit for your shower. I got no judgment. Drink your soda. To get a free
At least it has no sugar in it.
But
Yeah.
pay for any machine install and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org. WTHC. This is the Perfect Positivity Show. And tonight, Mrs. Hippie or Michelle, whatever you guys refer to me as, and Thomas are going. Yeah, I think it's funny that people refer to me as that too. Are here with Dot Davies, and she's from Hawthorne. Oh, did I say it right? Hawthorne. Where's Hawthorne? Holworth House. I knew it was wrong immediately. Holworth House, and it's not in Hawthorne. It's a different. That's a different place. Holworth House. And they are amazing, and they're creating this amazing space for young people who need a safe place to learn some skills and gather their focus on themselves for a little while in their transition into adulthood, as well as any other transition they might have. That's kind of funny that I use that verbiage. And it's really a wonderful place. And we are going to continue to ask her questions and pepper her with questions so she answers them all about her amazing organization. And you can check them out on Facebook. They also have an Instagram. And if you are on our Facebook page, you'll be able to watch this where it tells you how to get to their Facebook page. All right. So where were we, you guys?
Oh,
we don't even know.
I don't know. Oh, God.
No, so Dot, so do us a favor. So mention what your Instagram handle is, mention what your Facebook is, mention your email address, mention any phone numbers, mention anything on how anyone can get and more information on who you guys are.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I'm going to have to go. I am so not good at this. I think that Katie's going to have to be my social media person because it's just so challenging for me. I just can't do it. But I don't even know Instagram handle. Is it like the @ or is it like the name?
Yeah, it's just the @ yours is @ how House.
It's at Holworth House.
Holworth House. That's
Yes.
what my issue is the A. And your Facebook is facebook.com/Holworth House, which is HAWORTH House.
We're also
And-
on LinkedIn too.
Oh, I did see you on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Yes. All right, and that's the same thing. If you just type, when
Holworth
I
House.
searched you earlier on Google, all of these came up. So yeah, they came up just using Google. So if you just go on Google and you type in Holworth House. I'm from New Jersey. You think I would have the ability to say this word, but just like I'm from the part of it that says coffee, I recognize that some of my words are not, they're very, very, very thick with an accent, and I've been working on it. But anyway, Holworth House.
Yes.
if you just Google them, you're gonna find tons and tons of ways to figure out how you can help. Sometimes they need volunteers. Sometimes they always need donations.
I mean,
That
donations of any kind. I am looking for partnerships with, you know, anybody, right?
Well, yeah, like if you're a restaurant and you want to do one of their Sunday dinners, I'm sure they'll let you host one of their Sunday dinners. If you are a furniture place and they're going to be building their place, like we said, they're going to have room for 6 people to come and live and learn skills and have a great life and start their great life, their adulthood off. They're going to need furniture. They're going to need clothing, and anybody who does something like that, they're going to mention it on their social media. They're going to be talking about it. So it is a win-win situation, and it's wonderful. And I'm so excited that all these people are going to partner with you very soon.
So we actually have our first partnership, which is amazing. I sent an email and they were just like, yeah. So I don't know if y'all know who Dr. Bronner's is, but it's a soap. It's an all-in-one soap.
Yes.
Yes.
We are partnered with them.
That is so awesome.
Yeah. So I emailed them and I was just like, hey, this is our mission. This is what we're about. You know, if you help us, you know, not only will we just plaster you, Nikki, I hope you're on, or you're listening.
She commented a bunch if that's her.
Oh yeah. All over our website, you know, once we get that. But you know, so I'm so excited because we also the folks that we want to partner with, we actually have a partnering document that we have, and basically they have to meet 3 criteria in order for us to want to partner with them. So it's equality. Making sure that, you know, they are equitable throughout their organization. Yeah,
oh, that's
absolutely. I'm going to tell you about this soap in a second too. But you know, they're just, oh God, what was I saying before that?
For them to be able to partner with you, they have to bring something to the table.
Right. So they have to be, it's equity, right? So making sure that equality throughout their organization.
Give them a good shout out.
Yep, absolutely. LGBTQ competency. So making sure that, you know, the folks that we partner with do hold the same values as we do for our LGBTQ folks, and then also partnering with the environment. That's really important. Sustainability. Holworth House, I would love. I know, stretch goals, board. Listen, that we definitely want to be a 0 carbon footprint facility. So making sure that we have solar, making sure that
make that happen. Why wouldn't you make that happen?
If we have vehicles, making sure that they're electric vehicles, you know, doing all the earthy hippie things, composting. Tommy could probably, you know, help out with that kind of stuff.
Composting, by the way, in the Poconos is so awesome because the bear comes and takes his part of it like every couple days. And I have the official compost bin that the bear has actually gotten to the point he doesn't even break it. He takes it apart. But this is how much I've domesticated him. He takes it apart piece by piece, puts it to the side. He then takes what he wants out of my compost pile and then just leaves it for me to fix the next day. And so, yeah, composting. My son and I will help you with that for sure because we are active. We will train your bears to do the same.
So when I emailed Dr. Bronner's, you know, they were, because I was like, you know, I just want to get my ducks in a row. That's Dr. Bronner's right there. You know, I feel that you do, you know, identify with pretty much all of the principles that we would love to partner with. I want to get my ducks in a row. I don't have my tax exempt status, you know, hopefully soon. We just got that through our donations. Thank you everybody who donated.
Ooh,
yep. So we finally were able to go ahead and get our
I'm going to tell you, you said finally. You did that so fast. I know so many nonprofits that take a long time to get all that paperwork together.
So it's in. I got the paperwork in, so we're just waiting for that.
But still.
Yep. But I want to make sure
doing the paperwork is so intensive, and you were so motivated that it happened. You know, like that's hard paperwork. I know that. So I'm so impressed with you right now. That's fantastic. I'm really happy for you. That's great.
Yeah, and I mean with Dr. Bronner's too, that particular soap, the soap bar, but actually the liquid detergent, it's 18 uses.
Yeah.
So I also want to teach the folks that, you know, do stay at Holworth House, you know, like responsibility for our environment, you know, eco-friendly, you know, ways to like live on this planet. And I feel that that's soap because it can, like, I can wash my dog with it. I can wash laundry with it. I can, yay! Yes. Oh, we got to talk about merch. Oh my gosh. Yes.
I just looked and I'm like, oh, I have my mug right here.
That was so funny how that all came. I was like, can you
but yeah, it's amazing. So we just really want those folks to understand that, you know, you can do a lot of things with a little amount, and to like almost like honor and respect the fact that you don't need 5 million different things, you know, to be happy in life. You know,
Yes.
I mean, learn from the soap. You just need one. It'll do so many things for you if you just use it appropriately.
Yeah.
So just, you know, and again, it's cost effective too. You know, $22 for the big bottle of soap, which you will
Huge,
be
yeah.
getting for free. Thank you very much, Dr. Broners. But they
Love
can
it.
use it, you know, to do whatever they want, and to understand that that $22 bottle can do so much more, you know, than just one thing. And I think that's
Just
super
got
important to
Dot
expose
is
those.
a
Yes.
rock star. She has a goal and she gets shit done. So yes, we
Yeah.
can curse on this station.
Oh God. I do my best.
Fantastic. I love it. I love it. That just popped up on the feed and I went, yup,
Oh,
yup, that she is.
yeah, so I'm just so
She
excited that
is.
we have our first partnership with them. It was super easy.
Fantastic.
And the other thing too, going back to the furniture and making sure that you know, everybody's set up for success once they transition into, you know, their housing from us, is
Yeah.
that again, you were talking about, you know, having first month's rent, having last month's rent. It's just so much money, and on top of it, you have you know, you have to furnish all of these rooms,
bed.
well, not all the rooms, but like the kitchen, the bathroom, the dining, or like the dining space, a kitchen area, their bedrooms, you
Allison
know.
just said everyone just says yes to Dot. It's because she's on the right disc, as they say, the right foot. She has the momentum going because this is a great cause. So it's fantastic. So yes, people will say yes to you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
I'm sorry, go on with the
no,
furniture.
no, you're
So yeah,
fine.
they have all these expenses and you're moving into a house. And I remember when I moved into my first apartment, my mom took me to the grocery store and filled my cabinets up because you don't realize
Yep.
that there's
Have
food that you have in
spices,
your like your oil.
absolutely.
Like you might not use
Mhm.
oil every day. You might have a bottle of oil for 6 months. I don't know, oils, whatever, you know, some of your seasonings. But when you're moving to somewhere new and you have no seasonings and you don't have the family supports to maybe have that new home party, you know what I
Right.
mean, or whatever the
Yep.
case may be, where do you get your seasonings from?
So that's what we're trying to do, right? Not
Yes.
only are we trying to partner with folks that can help us in the here and now, meaning giving us stuff so that we can do tricky trays at our Sunday dinners, you know, fundraising
Yes.
like that.
Great ideas.
I also want to make I also want to have kind of an on-site like a food pantry where folks that
Oh,
are going to be transitioning, or folks that might need, you know, just not that live with us, but like other folks who might need to have some food, have the ability to go ahead and say, here, you know, you can take some stuff from us. But for the folks who are transitioning out, you know, we want to have enough, you know, almost like a surplus for us to be able to say, you can have some oil, here's some spices, you know, from all. So I've reached out to like spice donations and
mhm.
everything, because we're going to need everything, kitchen items,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
But more importantly, they will leave with their complete bed set. So they will, so
Oh,
part
so
of
that's
the
literally part of your
program,
goal already.
so part of the
Fantastic.
program, what we want to do is provide them with their bedroom. So their bed, their linens, a desk, and a dresser. That is the ultimate goal for us, to go ahead and set them up,
I
give them
mean,
an
what else do you really
advantage.
need? That gets you in the door. Down the
It
road,
does.
yes, you want to
Yep.
invest in other things, but you need to have a place to sit,
Yep.
put on your shoes, a place to
Yep.
sleep, and you're great.
Yep. So if they want their bed set when they leave, they can take it. You know, so that's the other part of this, is that, you know, we do want to give advantages to those folks. We want
Yeah.
to get our LGBTQ folks, our young adults, on a level playing field, and it, like, I hate saying that, but it is absolutely true, because right now there is so much stacked against them. And I want to give them an advantage, a straight up advantage in this world right now, because they're going to have to endure a lot in the coming years. And I just want to make sure that, you know, that's just one less thing that they have to worry about.
Set them up for success. I'm hoping it
Yeah.
doesn't go that way because some of these things, you know, I'm a, you know, I'm a positive thinker. That's why I have the
Mm.
show. I really hope that some of these bills get smashed down, and this is that last hiccup of resistance to allowing people to, like, I really want to believe in all that, but I agree with you in that if we just create this as an extra, here's an extra set of ways to help, an extra way. If all of that's if that stuff does if that stuff happens, then we've already set we're giving people those tools, and if it doesn't happen, then even better. Then we're helping people just for the good stuff. You know what I mean? I really want in my heart not to think that. I'm sorry. I just have
No,
to
no, you're
reject
absolutely
that
fine.
because I'm so I see it and I go, it's not going to happen
I
because
know.
I want to
know.
will that. You know what? I know there's so many good people fighting, and I know how I vote, and I know how I stay positive, and so I just have that. I have that positive feeling. This is just the last ditch hiccup before we get to the other side. And I
Mhm.
pray with all my heart that that's what it is. So I'm sorry to side kid.
No, you are
But yes,
fine.
yeah,
But like you said, right now our focus is LGBTQ youth, but we are focusing on trans folks. We want to make sure that those folks are served because right now
yeah.
they're the ones who are under attack the
The most
most
attack. I
in
agree.
our community.
And
Once
I hear it nonchalantly. People going, "Well, there's so
oh,
many
it's
ways that
terrible.
they're
It's
supported. They
terrible.
can make the decision as an adult." Da, 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 da,
Mm,
da. And I'm sitting there going, "You're not hearing the whole picture here,
no,
people.
no, no.
There's so much
And
more to learn and
yeah.
be aware of."
And
Yeah.
like for right now, so that for right now could shift to, another specific part of the community, whoever is being super attacked at that moment, we can always pivot focus. But I
Yeah.
think the whole thing would be amazing if this could branch out like eventually to other like not LGBTQ folks, right? Maybe folks, runaways, people who are aging out of the foster care system, those kind of things. So,
Still an issue.
who
Still an
knows?
issue.
Yeah,
It's
who knows in,
yeah.
5 years, maybe we'll be able to have, a division of Hallworth House. That is
Yeah.
my ultimate, is to
Love
have all these
that.
talk.
It can grow
Yeah,
and there's love for everyone. It's not like we only have love for one group of people.
exactly.
We can
Right.
grow it, but we can only focus on one right now. And as we are able to grow, we will. I love
Yep.
that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I wish, and that's one of the reasons when I was at Trevor, they're like, "Oh, do you want to be a counselor?" And I was like, "I would love to be a counselor." I said two things. I would not be able to do it on the phone. I'd have to be a text person. I said, and number two, I'm going to want to take all of these young people home with me because I
Right.
cannot understand or fathom, or it makes my heart hurt, and I could cry about it, that there are children who don't feel that love, who don't who aren't seen for who they are, and not being able to be yourself and be your whole self.
Yeah.
It just I cannot tell you what that does to my heart. It hurts so
Yeah.
bad. It hurts so bad.
Yeah.
Look, I'm getting emotional because I
Yeah.
can't. It's just
Oh, it's
yeah,
true. And as
yeah.
somebody who works in the mental health field, I have to remind myself constantly that I'm going to be a better tool for them as a therapist who can come and continue to give them that mental health piece.
Mhm.
There's so many times I want to cross boundaries and just be like, just come home with me.
I
I
know.
want
Just let me hug
and
you.
and I have to go, no, let's remember why I'm doing this. And I will help them longer in the long run doing it this way. But it's hard because there's ways and I mean you're not a trained therapist. So it's you know what I mean? Like like taking them home is the better choice in yours.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
In mine, I'm like, I can help them down the long road, but
Yeah.
continuing to give them behavioral strategies that are going to benefit them down the road. But
Yeah.
but yeah, you want to. You love these people. You fall in love with them as people. You go, gosh, I just love this kid. They're so wonderful. They're trying so hard. And this
And
is
how
just
can
a
their parent just not
shitty
acknowledge that?
situation. Right, right. And in my case, I have a lot of parents who wanna help too, but maybe something happened, so I've worked with so many kids that are not with their parents, and their parents are trying to get them back and do the right
Mhm.
thing, and I'm trying to help coordinate all of that, and God that break my heart because the parents did make a mistake that got them to where they are, and
Mhm.
now we're trying to get everybody on the same page to get them back, and yeah, working with, youth is hard.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing
It's
too,
I'm sure therapists who deal with older people probably deal with stuff too, but this has always been my thing is that I've always been pediatric.
Mm.
and there's all these different variables, parents who are trying, but maybe the parents were too young. I've had parents who have their own mental health issues and trying to get everybody. So when you get to that point that you go to the next level and you have saved and served um every child that identifies as queer or whatever, however they're doing that, and now you have saved them all and given them all the tools they need and you're ready to move to that next step. I am totally there for you for the mental health pieces. I am ready because I have so many kiddos that I've had kiddos that age out of the services with me,
Mhm,
and I'm going, "Oh, that kid still needs my help." And
mhm.
now they're gonna lose their insurance because they're at a certain level, and
Yep.
they're not gonna have, they're not gonna have me. Maybe they'll have once a week counseling where they had me coming into their school and into their home and sometimes into their jobs. And, so I'm there with you and I love it. I
I
love what you're
love
doing.
that.
I'm really excited and I can't wait to see your organization grow and thrive.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. We're going to be at PNC Bank Art Center for 6 shows in the coming
Do we
months,
know when those shows
mostly
are? Can you
July.
announce that part or
Um,
Hmm.
Not
if you
yet
can't yet,
because
that's
I need
okay.
to
That's
make
fine.
sure that I have the volunteers for it.
Okay.
So, I'm also asking folks, if you do want to see a fun little concert for free, and
Hmm.
you do identify, with our mission and really, really want to help us, we do need volunteers for these shows. The shows are in Jersey,
Mhm.
and there's 6 of them, and we're just so excited to
I'm
be
definitely
able.
gonna sign up. I do have the
Yeah,
form. I'm
let me
definitely gonna
know.
sign up
Yeah,
to participate.
Yeah,
I'll send that
absolutely.
stuff over to you
they
too.
are. Yeah, please.
I love it. I absolutely. And I mean, 17,000 people. I believe it holds 17 or
It's all
18,000
summer,
people.
right?
It's all. Yep,
It's
yep.
not
All the
yeah, so it shouldn't interact with your work. I'm hoping you can break away and come
Well,
through.
there are a couple shows that I might need like people to set up, and I have really great folks that I hope will help me set up for those shows. They know who they
Okay.
are. I hope they're listening.
Ah,
But just a couple shows, and I'll show up later than that. But most of them are on the weekend, which is really really good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So, getting our mission out to 17,000 people, having them pass us,
Are
hopefully,
you allowed to put, like, the old jar out there, like, throw in a buck
yeah,
as you pass by?
absolutely.
Because I
Yep.
can't tell you how many times I just have money on me, like, and I'm at a concert or something, and I'm like, "The spare change is dragging me down." I'm just gonna throw it into that jar,
Well,
and I'm gonna help somebody, and so
I would
I
love to
cannot.
have that, but PNC is cashless, so we do have to
uh,
we do have
That's
to,
funny. It's been so many years since I've
I
been
know.
there.
To rely on, we're gonna have some QR codes, so QR code direct to
Yeah.
donate, QR code to our
The QR
website.
codes work every time.
Absolutely,
mhm.
especially for the education piece. I really wanna make sure that, the resources that we have on our site, if anybody has any questions or like even concerns, they can take a look at our website. We are able to fundraise in Jersey, which is an amazing thing. I did call the Better Business Bureau and I'm like, I'm from PA. Can I fundraise in Jersey? And they're like, do you plan on making more than $10,000? And I'm like, let's say I
I
do.
plan.
I'm like, what would I have to do? And they're like, oh, you just register then. But I thought it was funny that they're like, do you plan on making more than $10,000? And I was like, I would really like to make more than
Yeah,
$10,000 in those 6
love
things. I'm
to.
like, that's amazing. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
No,
Um,
I think it could happen now because we've talked about it.
let's
Mhm.
manifest it,
That's how
man.
that's
Let's put
how
it
it
out
works.
to the
That's how law of
universe.
attraction works, and
Yep,
that's what our show's about.
Yep.
yep,
So just
yep.
super excited to be able to,
Oh, I'm so excited for
get
you.
that out there.
What
And
a cool opportunity. I know you know some people there and everything, but what a
yeah,
cool opportunity to be there. That's great. I love it.
yeah, yeah, I'm just so excited. I put in for 6 shows thinking I'd get 2, and they
Right.
approved all 6. So again, just the things that are, really just falling in
So
favor.
I'm definitely signing up for some, and any of my friends in New Jersey, sign up. This is make a difference. This is gonna make a difference in people's lives. This could save people's lives, and that's the way
Absolutely.
I look at it. Is that there you might be saving some people's lives in this. So why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't
Yeah,
you do it if you're a caring human? You know?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also too, so at PNC we are going to, present our first, real swag, right? Like certain people got cups if they donated within a period, which is really exciting because somebody donated within
And
that
just so
period.
everyone knows is that I absolutely love this mug, and I was posting about it and sharing about it. And then Thomas ordered it for my birthday, or just because he ordered it because he loves me, because he's my fave. And and then it was being mailed out, and Dot was mailing them out, but Dot lives by me, so she drove it over to my house, and I was totally like, "What are you doing at my
Why
house?
are you
How did
here?
you get here?" Like, I was in
Here.
confusion, and she's like, "This is from Thomas." And then I'm like even more confused. I'm like, "How do you know Thomas?" Now my brain's and then I'm going, "My son Thomas?" And she's like, "No."
No.
No, not that one.
My son paid for something for me? That's weird. And, like, the whole thing, and then because I was like, "What are you doing here?" Like, I was totally thrown off and so happy and so thankful and so filled with gratitude, and I love my mug, and I use it constantly, and I'm very, very happy, and, that's it. And when she puts out more merch, I highly recommend, because it was, like, super high quality. It's the right size mug. It's not too little. It's like it holds enough coffee to function in a day, and that's
So that was
important
our
too.
first attempt, right? We did that. I had help from Becca, and she helped us with
Yeah.
because we do have a Cricut circuit, whatever the frig you call that thing,
Yeah, I
and
have a
we are
Cricut, I do,
so
and it's
challenged, so
yeah,
challenged. So we're
yeah.
like, Becca, I'm like, I need help.
No, no,
So
no,
she
this
helped
was
us with
higher
that,
quality than that.
and
It's
then
so I mean, I've sold my Cricut stuff, but
but I
it's
do have on the website, I do have a almost like a poll that I would really love if you have like 2 seconds. You don't even have to, like, it's just a fun thing, right? Like you don't have to
that's on the Facebook
donate or
page? Oh, I
anything.
think
It is on the
having
Facebook
it
page
yeah.
about swag.
Mm.
I love swag. Anybody who's worked with me knows I love it. I love it. I will steal it. I just love branded things.
Mm.
It's a sickness. And so I want to kind of, since I love it, I'm pretty sure other people like swag. So just really want to know like what people want to see on our website for donations. What could be useful to you. So definitely fill out that form. So when we do go to these concerts, maybe we will have a piece of swag, for
Yes.
donations. I hear tote bags. Tote bags are.
I
Listen to
so
us. Do you
Huge.
hear
Yes,
what we're saying?
huge.
I'm like, oh, tote bags, man, they're the shit.
I have to tell you, I do the merch for WTHC. I'm behind the merch currently, and I have sold tote bags, the notebooks. I have found a place that would make notebooks with the cover that says WTHC, and I have sold a bunch of those, which surprises me
Really?
every time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Huh.
So yeah, and then, I'm always surprised because 'cause I'll make, like, an amazing T-shirt that I think is the greatest, and no one they don't sell it all, and I'm always like, "That T-shirt was amazing. It said WTHC down the arm, and it had this going on," and
Uh,
none. But the notebook sold, and I did one time as a gag make a bra and just put it up on the page, it sold. I sold the bra that says
That's amazing.
WTHC and has a picture of my husband as a puppet on one side of it. All right, so who knows what'll sell? I don't. Definitely I think your survey is the best way to do it. Don't just make stuff and put it up there because you're gonna be like, "What?
No,
How did that sell?" So
but definitely pins and rubber bracelets. Like
yes,
again, rubber
yes.
bracelets. You got to have one for your
You
cause.
gotta have those rubber bracelets. Well, because that's a good one though. I always like if I do give some money to something and they give me one of them, I end up wearing it. I end up just
Yeah.
Yeah.
wearing it around, and then I'm
Yep.
talking to somebody and I'm telling them about it. So that is it's one of
Yep.
those simple things
Yep.
that creates the conversation and keeps it going and spreads the word.
And
My
yeah.
coffee cup's fantastic, but I gotta tell you something. Nobody else sees it. It's at my
Right.
house. You
So that's what
know?
I mean. We have pins, so that's one of the things. Like statement, like I don't want
Pin's
to
a
say it's
good
like a
one.
statement piece, but if
They can
somebody
go on
goes
your
up and is like,
backpack.
"What the hell
Yeah.
is that?" You can be like, "Oh, well, let me tell you." So
Mm.
yeah, definitely conversation starters.
Yeah.
That was a big Allison thing. Allison was just like, "You need to have conversation starters," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay,
It's a good conversation starter.
yep, yep,
I agree. I
yep,
agree.
yep."
So awesome. So we are actually getting to the end of time. If you guys don't mind running a little bit over, so here's the deal. I messed up again on the commercial breaks. Tonight I did not do good with commercial breaks. I need to set a timer. It just didn't come with the natural conversation. We were excited. So I want to do a quick commercial break. Did I say conversation break all times?
It's both.
Commercial break.
Right, bro. It's both.
I need to do one more quick commercial break and then let's wrap up for the night. And so we'll run a little bit over our time if that's okay with everybody. And I gotta tell you, Dot, I didn't know if we were gonna end up. I was like, oh, we'll talk to Dot for a little while, and then I'm so glad you were able to stay the whole time. And I felt like we
Yeah.
had so much stuff to share
Great.
this whole time. I think
Oh,
this
yeah.
really was amazing. So let's do a quick commercial and then a wrap up. All right, you guys in?
Yep.
All
Good.
right,
All
We're
right.
here.
awesome.
Okay, men. This is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this.
All right.
You're here now.
Hopefully, it's not too loud for
You're
you
gonna go
guys.
out there.
Oh, it's all good.
Be an
Good.
all-star
Yeah.
caregiver. It's
No,
up to
thank you so much. This has been
What are you gonna
amazing.
do?
I'm so excited.
Gonna go grocery
Um,
shopping.
You
Cook,
know,
clean,
anybody
emotionally
that
and
we
physically.
can
Gotta dig
like reach
deeper.
out to, and
Nothing
you know,
physical there.
they can hear what we're about. I just
Forget
so
about
appreciate
pharmacy.
it.
No, you
Yes.
won't.
Yeah.
Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family,
Sorry, I was looking
And
at all the
yourself.
numbers and all that kind of
that you're
stuff.
tougher than tough,
Ooh, there's numbers.
and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org.
There's some stuff.
A public service
Yeah.
There's
announcement
some
brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica.
It kind of shows me how many people are listening, how many people are on Facebook. But it's not all like legit numbers, so I don't like to. I'm not announcing them because it's like it'll say this, and I'll have like 10 people be like, "I heard you on," like we're on Alexa, like, but we're through TuneIn. So then sometimes the radio station will say, you know, there's 75 people listening, and then I'll find out there's all these other people also listening on TuneIn that didn't qualify for the radio station, and then you know on Facebook Live we have a certain amount of people that that see it. And it might be 20 people, but then it gets reached, and all of a sudden it says you have 600 views. You have
Yeah.
you know, and I'm like, oh, 600 people watched that, and we were foolish in it. Sometimes if we're foolish, it's more people listening.
Oh, okay.
Help end childhood hunger in your community. Visit
All right.
Now,
I
what were
think
you saying? You were selling notebooks and what else?
and the Ad Council.
WTHC, and this has been an amazing conversation for the Perfect Positivity show for Thomas and Michelle here, and this has been a perfect conversation with our friend Dot Davies and talking about Haworth House. I want it to be
Yay,
Hayworth
you
House.
did
I'm sorry, Haworth House, and they are so amazing. And we're almost at the end though, guys. It's getting to the end. So what are our final thoughts on this? And Thomas, we have to come up with homework again for next week. I don't know
know,
if
we
you
got-
thought of anything.
Yeah.
Tonight's conversation was so positive.
It
We
really
didn't
was.
go over like usually we come across something and we're like we're getting stuck on it and we're like that's going to be our homework. Like we never pre-planned it. It came organically.
Yeah.
And tonight
Yeah.
we didn't have everything was just about how you get the momentum, you get the positive vibe and you go with it. So that's interesting. We'll have to think of our homework. Really come up with something. Unless it's find recipes and post them on our page because we're hungry.
You know what? That's it. That's the homework. Let's find recipes. Yes. Find recipes.
Find
send
recipes that make you happy
your
and bring you joy.
stories. Yes.
And
Your
and
kids.
you have a story connected with it. Think of a
Yep.
story that
I love
you know
that.
about a family loved
Yeah.
one, and share it on our Facebook page or share it on our YouTube channel. And we're gonna gather some up, and we might ask you to come talk about it more if it's something that needs
We
more
really love-
explanation.
Yep.
We might be able to share it with our friend Dot Davies so that they're eating it one Sunday dinner.
Yes, I would love to have that, you know, especially, you know, even if
Ooh, maybe
like
it's a
you and I
future
partner up.
cookbook fundraiser. You know those cookbook
Oh.
fundraisers.
Come
Maybe
on.
maybe we're partnering with you right now. You didn't even know.
I love it. And anybody, you know, who connects with our mission and really feels that, you know, our LGBTQ young people and our young adults really need our support right now. They really, really need they really, really need us.
Before
you
the
know.
break, we were talking about the merch, and
Yes.
we have people in our feed asking for sweatshirts, hoodies, and one bra. They want a bra. So you, I'll teach you how to make them online. They're actually quite easy. You don't actually have to make it on your Cricut. There's a company that makes the bras for you.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. That's insane. Oh,
I don't know if that really matches the mission, but
probably not, but definitely would be good for you for a fundraiser.
yes,
to be
maybe
sure.
we'll sell some of our bras.
I would love to
and
wear
donate the
TJ on one
proceeds.
of my boobs.
Yes,
Like
yes,
that's
that might
amazing.
that might work out. Oh, I see Heather. I don't know if she's your friend. Someone named Heather says
Uh-huh.
that she wants some Czech recipes of boiled stuff. So if that makes sense.
It 100%. So Heather is my sister, and
Oh, okay.
yes, and yes, she does understand the heavily boiled and sometimes unseasoned things that we eat, and we call it like comfort food. You know, like
Yes.
mugs
Mugs and tumblers are coming up. So there are a lot of stuff. So make sure you guys go over to the Haworth House on Facebook. So it's facebook.com/HAWORTHHOUSE, and you vote there on their merch. And hopefully some cool stuff will come out, and it will be probably debuting over at the Art Center. What do they call it now? It's not the Art Center.
PNC.
PNC.
PNC
It
Big
was
Art
the Art
Center.
Center like 25 years
no.
ago. It's
Yep.
been PNC for a long time.
Yes, it has.
I have not lived in Jersey for a while, so it'll always be the Art Center.
Center.
PNC. And then I'm sure some of it will go up on the internet and
Absolutely.
for internet sales. So if you have
Absolutely.
ideas, share them, because
Yes.
then you can help
It
us
takes
out.
a village.
You know?
It takes a village.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
any support, and then also too, you know, I don't want to be like, give me money, but give me money. But besides that, you know, like I
it comes
don't.
to them freely and easily by asking. Yes.
But it's not like I don't want, you know, I don't need like $100 donation. $5. If 10 people give me $5, that is $50. That is $50 I didn't have. $50. What was it? I think even $100. So like 10 people giving yes, 10 people giving $5 is 100. Is that correct? Am I doing math
50.
right?
No, 10 people
20.
is 10 times 5 is 50.
20.
Shit.
20 people.
20 people give me
20
$5.
people.
Yes, we're in it.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Not
Yes.
mathematicians in this circle. Go on.
No, not at all. We're doers and lovers. We're not math people. You know, that's a that's a year's supply for one person.
Yeah.
For I think it's conditioner for us. So that's what I'm saying. Like $100. I think it's $140 will keep our website running for a year. So there's different things that you can donate like that. But even if you're just like, hey, you know what? I was gonna go out. I was gonna spend $5. I really want to, you know, I want to do something good. I feel good today. Go ahead.
Can I
and
make a
donate your
suggestion for
$5 to us.
friends? This
Sure.
is something that I've been talking to a couple of my friends about. Instead of us going out to like a fancy dinner, as much as we like that, I just said this the other day. I said I want to do it for some of the local moms that are running for school board who are against book bans. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to, instead of us all meeting to go out to a lunch or go out to a dinner at a local fancy restaurant, I said, why don't we all come to my house and do potluck and throw $10 in and give it to the mom that's running for office.
I love that.
They were
I
all like,
love
"That's a great idea." So my recommendation is, if you have a group of friends that maybe you meet up with and you guys go out once a month or something, awesome. I think you should still do it. If you don't have a group of friends you do that with, get a group of friends. And that we all need to be social.
Get friends.
Get some friends. But you have the friends, but you're going, I never see my friends. Say, hey, listen, next Friday, why don't you all come over and bring a dish and $10? And instead of us going out, bring a bottle of wine. You know, everybody brings something different. And instead of us going out and spending $50, $100 each,
absolutely,
throw $10 into the pot and let's give it to this organization, to I want to say Haworth House.
Woo!
And you know, I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me.
It's okay.
And let's do it that way, and that makes a huge difference. And if it's you and 5 of your friends and you're all throwing $10, guess what? That's an okay donation. That's really good. And you can name your friends, and then you donate to whatever organizations you want. And it's like, high school group of high school 92.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Now
Yep.
you'll know when I graduated.
You
You know.
graduated in 92?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I know. I thought you were close. Like, well, you're closer, but like, I thought you were closer than that.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's just 4 years. It's just 4 years.
Yes.
It's just, I missed you by 4 years. It's okay.
Okay.
But
okay.
I was just, I did not know. I thought you were like closer to me, my age.
I did think we were the same age, but that's okay. I feel like we are the same age mentally, and that's what
We
matters.
are spiritually, we're like 5,000.
There
so
is
we're
no
okay.
more ages when you're at this point. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So but yeah, some version of that, get together with your group of friends, make a name. That's kind of fun in itself. And then play Yahtzee or play Bunko or
I
play.
like Yahtzee. I haven't played
I
Yahtzee
do.
in
I like
forever.
it. And then throw your money in at the end and donate it. That way you're doing something worthy of the community. Oh wait, I have some more messages here. It is still the art center. Okay, I thought it was something else. It's also the Brendan Byrne Arena. So somebody has strong opinions.
Brendan Byrne Arena. That's the Brendan Byrne Arena is in across. Used to be across from Giant Stadium. It was Continental. When it was Brendan Byrne, then it was Continental.
Yeah.
Then
But
it was
it
the
the
IZOD
Meadowlands?
Center.
Is that not the part of the same thing?
Meadowlands. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
yep.
why I always called it Meadowlands. Right.
Yep.
Right. And I guess
Yep.
it's not that anymore either.
No. Well, it is the
Well,
Meadowlands, but
Are
the
we
mall
allowed to
there
call
is
Jones Beach
fantastic.
Jones Beach? Because I head there
Yes.
every year now.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it's still
They're
Jones
still
Beach.
yeah.
Still Jones Beach. Somehow
Yeah.
New York has held on. They haven't allowed that one to be renamed. Well, I don't want to speak too soon. I'm sure it's the I can't even think of a business off the top of my head. I'm like it's the Nabisco Center.
Everybody.
I just made that up. Is that real?
So no, there's the Nabisco. So Nabisco factory was by like Glen Rock, and
Okay.
I think it's Route 4. Jersey people help me
Oh,
out.
yeah,
Is it
yeah,
Route
yeah.
4 or 17?
I'm like a little south of Jersey, so
Yeah,
but yeah.
and you either like it depends on which way like the wind blew because Lee and Perrins was there too. So you either got Worcestershire sauce or you got Nabisco. So it really depended. And when Nabisco was making like cookies and stuff, the air smelled like wonderful. It was like you were in Willy Wonka. It smelled
Oh, that's
so good.
great.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
In Hershey, it really does smell like chocolate around town.
It does, yeah.
And that's
yeah,
so
it does.
cool. And then for those of you who don't know, if you ever want to go to Hershey, I mean Hershey Park is wonderful and all that stuff, but the town of Hershey is really cute and Hershey supports it in every way. So every street light is a Hershey kiss. I just highly recommend people go to Hershey and spend a weekend. You're not going to spend a week there. It's not a week vacation, but it's a good weekend vacation. I highly recommend and I know, listen, the other end of it is I know some things that Hershey did in their past in getting their Hershey chocolate wasn't the greatest, but they do a lot of good stuff for the community. So I try to every single thing has something bad attached to it. So I try to balance it out and say, just go. It's an enjoyable trip in your life.
No, I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah, it's hard because I'm like, I don't want to support. Children. They like made kids mine for
child labor. Yeah, all that kind
They
of
had
stuff.
the child labor stuff issues.
It was also in the 1920s where child labor was okay until
Yeah, is
passed
it
the
they don't
amendments.
do it at all anymore? All right,
Law
there's
amendments,
got
I
to
don't
be
know.
a place for forgiveness. I don't know.
Yeah.
And chocolate. So it's just very hard. All right, so it is officially 9:08. So we have officially gone over tonight, and I think for all the good reasons we did. This was a good cause, and I'm so happy and grateful we were able to share some time with you tonight.
Me too.
in
Thank you
Haworth
so much.
House. And Thomas, I did it right that time.
Yep.
And Thomas, we want everyone to add amazing recipes to our Facebook page, and we're gonna share them. Maybe I wasn't kidding. Maybe we will create a book out of them, and then we'll make a little fundraiser or something. I think there's something there.
Yeah. Send us your recipes. Send us
Send
your,
us
your stories.
Story.
about
Yes,
why-
with the story.
Why is
Yep.
this a comfort food? What does it
Yeah.
bring? What does it
Yeah.
emote? What good vibes does it bring to you?
Yes.
And other
joy.
people.
Yes.
The Good Vibe Cookbook.
Oh,
Allison says Lancaster smells like cornflakes and Twizzlers. I love that. Now we know.
Where do they make bagels? I want to live where they make bagels.
You do live where they make bagels. You live in Queens. They make bagels
I
there.
You can even get
Everywhere.
good pizza and bagels. We have to get shit lenders and like not
Yeah.
good pizza up here. I don't know what you're complaining about.
I know. I want to live where they make bagels. You do.
You do.
To live behind. Yeah, I need to live behind like a bagel store. Like
All right. You need to move closer to an
All right,
actual
all
bagel
right.
shop.
Ugh.
I'm so sorry, but we have to call you out on that because those of us who have to
Yeah,
travel
don't.
5
Like,
minutes for an okay bagel is like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
really? Is there one
yeah.
at the end of your block? Could you walk down to the corner? Oh, the humanity.
That is so funny. Sorry. We just know it's awful up here. It is awful.
not how to end a
it's
show.
god awful. Yes.
It's one of those things. I try to really stay positive. There's a couple decent pizza places. They are as good as it can be. And as somebody who once moved to North Carolina for 2 years of her life and did not have any pizza that was edible,
I can't imagine.
I am so thankful to be in Pennsylvania where there is edible pizza
Half-decent
and there
pizza.
is close enough pizza that you can live comfortably. And there are some bagel places. There's the place in Broadheadsville that's actually fantastic. Their bagels are a par.
Oh, really?
But
Where?
you pass
Is
it all
that
the
next to
time.
Tattoo Parlor?
Oh, you got to send me the info.
Yeah, I'll send you the info. There is a place, and listen, the newer place over by us has very good bagels. They're not
What place
New
is
York
that?
bagels, but they are solidly good. I'll send you that information too. Maybe
Oh.
I'll list it on the website so everybody sees it. I just don't know off the top of my head their official names. I just call them the
Okay.
bagel places.
Gotcha.
The one that is in Broadheadsville is New York level. It is.
Is that the one
it's-
next to the tattoo parlor?
No,
No.
it is. Is there a tattoo? I don't think there is. It's
It's not in a small like
by Mike's Pizza. How about that?
nope.
Okay.
I
You
know
probably
there's
knew
another
where it is.
bagel
It's
place
right
up there.
across from the Weiss. It's right across from the Weiss that we call our
Oh.
Weiss. It's in that shopping center there, Thomas.
The one
Oh,
with
because the one I'm
store-
talking. Oh,
the
I don't know.
ShopRite or no? The one by
It's in
Dunkin'.
the front of the shop. It's not in with the ShopRite, but it is in the same block of land, sort of.
Okay.
For
Yep.
lack of a better way
Big
to put it.
ShopRite?
The Kinsley's. Now everybody knows everything about us, where we
Yeah, no,
hang.
no.
And, yeah, and this is our life. You got good bagels? I just need a good
They're
bagel.
good bagels. I promise I will share it with you online. I will share their name. But those are the things you miss when you move away from
Yeah.
places that have certain things. Like when I lived in North Carolina and I got to have really amazing biscuits for breakfast all the time, and then I also had really amazing pulled pork. I've been trying to duplicate that pulled pork for years. So don't think I'm being just particularly New Yorkish. It's all over the country. There's great things that you can't get other places.
Yeah.
But as someone who grew up in Jersey, close enough to New York to take the train,
We know.
It's
We know.
bagels.
We know. It's fine.
Yeah.
We know. We get it.
And listen,
Yeah.
so but you know, like I said, I did a stint in other places and I have picked up other foods. I'll tell you what, real quick, just so we know, and I'm gonna end my positivity show on something negative. I do not want red hot dogs, North Carolina. I'll never eat those again. Okay.
And on that note,
We're over now.
Yeah.
No,
no, but
I
thank
honestly
you
there were so many
much.
good things that just wasn't one of them. But
Yeah.
share your yummy foods, your comfort foods. If somebody
Yes.
has a red hot dog, they're bright red. A red hot dog recipe they want to share it, I will share their story and maybe it's somebody else's comfort food and that's okay. That's fine. I am accepting of all comfort foods.
As everybody should.
Hot dog.
Yes. All right, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you
and
so
I am
much.
going
So
to
much. Mwah. Thank you.
WTHC, and I'm hopefully it's gonna go right to a commercial, and we are done broadcasting on WTHC. Done. Okay. We are still broadcasting on Facebook land. Let me end that. Thank you guys so much, everybody who was
Thank
was
you.
there. Oh, the hippie come out and play. Yeah, he can absolutely, Matt, if he wants to. And I'm gonna end the broadcast now. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for
right.
the Perfect
Thank you.
Positivity Show.
Bye.